heart of East State Village, where neighbors.
Give your home the curb appeal it deserves and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com. Request your virtual quote and use the code Summit City for 15% off all power washing services today. That's kurtzmio.com, supporting the youth of Fort Wayne. Looking for a way to naturally aid in soothing aches, pains, and sore muscles and reduce inflammation from the skin? Want a relief in minutes? Try Alleviate. Contact Hillary Didier for details. You can find her at didier.hillary@gmail.com or call her at 260-312-1599.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Parkview Ortho Express, located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, gives you access to quick care and orthopedic physicians when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Parkview Ortho Express is open Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Call 260-266-4007 for more information. Developing athletes to be foundationally strong. Healthy and consistent training. Expert staff. Long-term athletic development. Parkview Sports Medicine Performance. Any athlete, any age, any skill level.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC Conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit SummitCitySports.com.
Well, last Friday night it was a statement win for the Homestead Spartans, winning at Bishop Dwenger. But tonight, the Spartans need to try to do it again here at home against a team they haven't beaten in 13 years. Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Parson. Tonight with Joe Walburn and the SummitCitySports.com crew. We're at Dave Walters Memorial Stadium for the top 10 Class 6A matchup, Homestead against Snyder. Spartans kept their record spotless, now 4-0, with a 17-15 hard-fought victory last Friday night over the Saints. Points, Joe, as you know, were at a premium, and they relied on a pair of Braden Hardwick touchdown runs coupled defensively with the linebacker Cam Rogers' 17 tackle, 5 tackle for loss, and 2 sacks effort. And that's what it took last Friday night, and likely that's what it's going to take here more at home again tonight.
Absolutely. A lot of people thought that Homestead would come out with Luke Goody and throw the ball all over, but no. They got the job done with physical football. You talked about the offense. Braden Hardwick runs for over 200 yards, a couple of touchdowns, but the big story was the defense, and obviously Cam Rogers was a stud with 17 tackles, and those linebackers, Martin, Palmer, and Rogers, maybe the best in the area. But where I want to really focus on, and I think where I've seen the most improvement from Homestead, is up front with that front three, and I think that nose tackle, Matt Miller, 6'2", 230, has gotten the job done, Joe, as a sophomore, and he's really brought that defensive line together. 9 tackles on the season, Joe, 3 tackles for a loss, and 4 sacks. So Homestead is awesome at the linebackers, maybe the best in the area at safeties too, Joe. But that sophomore nose tackle has really laid it down. And the big stat from last week that stuck out to me when I broke the game down was Homestead limited Dwenger to less than 3 yards per carry. When's the last time that's happened to Bishop Dwenger?
Not many teams do that. Snyder also comes in at 4-0. Panthers blank Southside 44-0. Already it's the Panthers' second shutout victory of the year, Joe, and everybody talks about the Snyder's ability to run the football, and they did rush for 322 yards, ground out last Friday night against your Archers, along with 5 rushing touchdowns. But how about that Panther defense led by 290-pound Giannini Belizaire?
Yeah, Belizaire is just awesome. 6'2", 295. Reminds a lot of people of Lawrence Johnson, who's starting for Purdue. So Snyder typically has a big nose tackle up front. But I tell you what, that Snyder defense, Joe, they forced 8 turnovers. And again, on the season, Snyder is limiting their opponents to less than 3 yards per carry. So Snyder's been awesome on defense, but they've also been really efficient on offense, Joe. The quarterback, John Barnes, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions. And Lenny Bennett's averaging 8 yards a carry. Cameron Trotter, the big back for Snyder, is averaging 9 yards per carry. And don't forget about the weapons on the outside, the big tight end Jermaine Wells and Dylan Duff, the 6'5" receiver on the outside, and Alonzo Derrick. And I feel like tonight Snyder's going to have to throw that football. So it's going to be physical football, but we'll also see how these quarterbacks respond to the pressure. And I'll tell you what, Joe, this is why you run the sprints. This is why you lift the weights. The games don't get any bigger than what they are tonight.
Spartans open lots of eyes with their statement win at Dwenger last Friday night, and you have to win in the trenches, both sides of the ball. They did it last week against the Saints, and Homestead did just that. Panthers Spartans here tonight for the lead in the SAC. Both teams unbeaten, both ranked in the 6A top 10, and should be a great matchup. We'll step aside for a 3-minute timeout, and we'll return with our Meyer pregame show. We'll also visit both head coaches. Spartans 16-year coach Chad Zolman up first when we return. This is IHSAA football right here on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
Give your home the curb appeal it deserves, and trust Kurtz Mio to power wash your home. Additional services include concrete ceiling, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com. Request your virtual quote and use the code SummitCity for 15% off all power washing services today. That's kurtzmio.com, supporting the youth of Fort Wayne.
It's the comets. Comets falling from the sky. 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 Comets falling from the sky.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express Walk-In Clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
Give your home the curb appeal it deserves and trust Kurtz Mio to power wash your home. Additional services include concrete ceiling, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com. Request your virtual quote and use the code SummitCity for 15% off all power washing services today. That's kurtzmio.com, supporting the youth of Fort Wayne.
It's the comets. Comets falling from the sky. 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 Comets falling from the sky.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City.
That's not an easy place to go in and win. Coach, more often than not, when you look back at a game, usually it's decided by the war in the trenches, both sides of the line. Talk about last week and your offense and your defensive line, and did they play a huge role for you?
Oh, absolutely. Going in, we were undersized. That's a huge offensive line we faced last week, and it's going to be the same thing this week. And our kids played with tenacity, and they did their job. It wasn't a big stat night for a defensive lineman. They just had to keep them out of the lap of our linebackers and let our linebackers run, and they did exactly that. And it's going to be similar tonight. And so on the offensive side, I thought even the second half we started to control the line of scrimmage a little bit and move the ball, and I think that was the biggest difference in the second half.
Well, to take your point to heart, I mean, as good as your quarterback is, as good as your running back is, you got to have holes to run through. You got to have time to throw the ball, and obviously that worked out. Yeah,
and they were a young group coming in the season, and they're starting to gel. And coaches, they've done a great job with them. And last week was a kind of a statement for them. They're for real now, and so. We expect that same level of play every week.
Well, and as a reward, tonight you got to go against another top 10 ranked team, and this is not a team you've had great success with over the years. And talk about the highs of winning. You had to be on a euphoric high with that win over Dwenger. How do you maintain that same level and not have a letdown tonight?
Well, that's to be seen. Honestly, these kids they know what's at stake. They know. And you could tell this week in preparation, they're focused. The things we asked them to do, the game plan, all the learning that goes along with that, they were in tune. So that's it. And each week we try to preach it's the biggest game of the year, and it's 1-0 and every week, and so that's what we're trying for. And there will be extra juice tonight because of our opponent for sure. And but our kids have done a good job prepping, so I don't think that'll be an issue.
You know, we've been around Snyder football for years and years, and it's always going back when Russ was there and the head coach. It was always built on run the football first. They had 322 rushing yards last week. Talk about your preparation for the Panthers this year. They're more than just run-oriented, but talk about the challenge.
Well, they're huge up front, and they're always well coached, and you have to play assignment sound football, and you have to get off blocks. Defense is all about taking on a block, getting off a block, going and make a play, and so that's the whole thing. And so if our kids can do that and run our game plan, I think we can be effective. But if they get a hold of us and they get helmet on helmets and they've got some really talented running backs, and the run game can give us fits, and then their play action game ties right into that, and that's their in their passing game. It's all play action. They bring those linebackers up and they create space for and they've got some athletes on the edges too. So. They're a handful offensively.
Okay. And we're back with head coach Chad Zollman. Hard to believe he's been ahead of this program now 16 years. The Spartans come back home to Dave Walters Memorial Stadium at 4-0. They're ranked in the 6A polls, both polls. The AP's got them number 8. The coaches polled number 10. A year ago they were 7-4. Their 5-game win streak was stopped by who else? Snyder, 49-35 in tournament play. Kurt Tippmann is up next. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. We get ready for the big top 10 matchup here tonight at Homestead. The Spartans taking on the Snyder Panthers. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket. 2 minutes.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where neighbors...
For every victory, for every highlight, for every team in the Summit Athletic Conference, we've got you covered. Like, follow, and subscribe for all the latest.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where neighbors...
For every victory, for every highlight, for every team in the Summit Athletic Conference, we've got you covered. Like, follow, and subscribe for all the latest.
And we're back with head coach Kurt Tippmann. And coach, congratulations, now 4-0 on the year. You know what catches my eye is second shutout of the year already in 4 outings. Everybody talks about that Snyder offense, and it is prolific, don't get me wrong. But you hold the Southside Archers not only scoreless, but also 3 yards of total offense. That speaks well about where this Panther defense is right now, would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, it's a veteran group, and I think early in the season we're kind of ahead of the game in terms of execution because we have so much experience. But anytime you can hold an offense to that kind of production, I think is good. But we're going to be challenged in every facet of the game on that side of the ball tonight.
You know, you look at Homestead, and obviously it caught your attention. They win at Dwenger, and you know how tough that is to pull that off, especially on that new stadium turf. But talk about your team and the matchup here tonight, and what have you stressed to your team about? What are the keys from a Snyder standpoint to win?
Well, I think offensively, they do a lot of stuff on defense where they're running guys through, and their linebackers are very active. So a big part of that plan has to be just getting blocks on them, identifying the stunts that they're running and picking it up and getting hats on hats. Because if we don't do that, we're not going to be able to run the ball. We're not going to be able to pass protect, and it'll be a long night. And then on the other side of the ball, it's kind of tough because they have so many weapons. They're very diversified in their attack, but it all really begins up front, To have our 4 defensive linemen and the guys we rotate in there have to be very effective in defending their gap, stopping the run, and getting pressure on the quarterback.
It always gets back to war in the trenches, doesn't it? Any
Absolutely. That's the fundamental of playing football, blocking and tackling.
Head coach Trent Entman, hard to believe he's been head of that Panther football program now his 11th year. They are 4-0, and in the 6A polls, AP's got them number 5. The coaches' polls got them number 4. A year ago, Snyder was 9-3. They lost at Carmel in the regionals 20-6. We'll be back. We get ready for the reenactment of the coin toss here at Dave Walters Memorial Stadium. It's Snyder against Homestead, and this is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket. Okay, sir, we'll try for...
Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent.
Right now you're good. Neither team is out. And we have 3:30 on the...
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
For tonight, Carroll playing at number 5, Dwenger. Both those teams are 3-1 now. Northside home to Bishop Luers. Both are 1-3. Southside at Wayne, both winless. And Northrop hosting number 10, Concordia. Over in the Northeast 8, it's Leo ranked number 9 this week. They're at East Noble ranked number 5. That's a big matchup in the Northeast 8. Both teams undefeated at 4-0. New Haven home to Norwell. And in the ACAC, it is Heritage at unbeaten Adams Central. Jets at number 2, and Woodland playing at Southern Wells. Both teams are 1-3 coming into action here tonight. Want to look ahead, by the way, next week we will be at Chambers Field, and Homestead will be there taking on the Northside Legends. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. Well, we got helicopters flying over. Somebody must have said this is a big game here tonight. And indeed it is. Well, Sean Jenkins, we mentioned our referees waiting, calling out to both the co-captains coming out to midfield. And we will have our reenactment coming up. Joe Walburn's down on the field. And we'll go down and tune in for the introductions and the coin flip.
Guys, remember, let's practice good sportsmanship. Good sportsmanship. Homestead won the toss and deferred.
There you go, Coach. There you go, Joe. Homestead wins the toss. They're going to kick, Joe, so we'll get a look at John Barnes and that offense first, Joe. So, huge game. It's going to be fast down here on the turf. Perfect night for football, Joe. The flyover was just awesome. And biggest game in the state, Joe. Number 5 against number 8. So, a huge matchup tonight.
Thank you very much, Joe Walburn. We'll take a timeout, and we'll be back. It's a kickoff. Homestead to kick it away when we return. This is IHSAA Football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express Walk-In Clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
Give your home the curb appeal it deserves, and trust Kurtz Mio to power wash your home. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code SummitCity for 15% off all power washing services today. That's kurtzmio.com, supporting the youth of Fort Wayne.
It's the comets. Comets falling from the sky. 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 Comets falling from the sky.
No, seriously, could not ask for a better night for high school football. Love to keep this.
Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent.
Returns this year, averaging, had a long of 18 so far this season. Last year, he had a long of 62 and averaged about 15 yards a kickoff return.
Boy, a big one, Joe. I tell you what, they don't get any bigger than this, and the kids are just pumped up down there.
You know, if you're Chad Zolman, would you be tempted to go onside right away to start a ball game?
It'd be so tempting because sometimes in these big games, special teams can really get a team off to a fast start, but I bet he'll probably kick it deep and try to put the pressure on the Snyder offense.
Cameron Trotter also back there as well for the Panthers, along with Jay-Sean Underwood. And we are just about ready to go to work. Kick will come to left to right as we look at it. Homestead set. Here comes the kick, high end over end. And looking down, it'll be taken by at the 10-yard line. Return right side across the 20, short of the 25-yard line. That was picked up by Lenny Bennett back there. And boy, what a stable of talent back there for the Panthers to return the kickoff. And now we'll see Snyder's offense moving from right to left here, 1st and 10, early moments of the ball game.
And you mentioned the running backs, Joe. I mean, Cameron Trotter, 5'10", 200, runs like he's 220. Lenny Briscoe Bennett, 8 yards per carry on the season, 6 touchdowns. So Snyder can attack you with a lot of different running backs.
That offensive line coming in, averaging 278 a man, tackle to tackle. L.A. Waugh at center, senior at 230. Cameron Miles and DJ Moore have been starting at the guard positions. Nick Miles and Randy Holtz at the tackle spots. Shotgun formation, we'll see John Barnes. He's thrown for 7 touchdowns without an interception this year. Read option, he'll call himself his own number and brings it across the 25 up to about the 29-yard line. There'll be a pickup of about 5 or 6.
And that matchup with L.A. Waugh against Miller up front is going to be a big matchup tonight on the offensive and defensive lines, Joe. But good read that time with Barnes to get upfield and get some positive yards. Sets up a second and manageable for Snyder.
By the way, Barnes comes in with 285 yards, 17 yards and 1 touchdown this year. Here's a pass intended in the flats on the left side. That was intended out here for number 83, and that is Santiago Ortez, but incomplete. And now it's 3rd down and 5. Look at the Panthers on offense on 3rd downs. They come in. Last week they were 7 of 10 against South for 70%. And for the year, 59% completion average on 3rd down opportunities. Trying to get it out just short of the 34-yard line. Here's an option run to the left side. They won't get it. Barnes is brought down at the 30. He'll be about 3 yards short to bring up 4th down, and we'll see if the Panthers have got to kick the ball.
Yeah, you got to punt the ball away here, but how about Cam Rogers? You talked about in the pregame, Joe, 17 tackles last week, and that time the penetration makes Barnes cut the ball back up to the middle where the pursuit comes. So a good series so far for the Homestead defense to get 3 and out and get off the field.
Jake Archibald will drop back for Homestead inside his own 40-yard line. He's had a long punt return of 15 this year.
Extremely dangerous, and if I'm Snyder, I kick the ball away from Archibald.
So Snyder to punt. They wait at their 16. High snap. Here's a little soccer-style move, a rugby style to the right side. Archibald will then hit that bounce. It takes a bounce for Snyder inside the 30. Still rolling down to the 30-yard line. That's where it's going to be touched in. The Panthers will have their first touch of the ball on offense. No score in the early moments.
Got great special teams with Snyder to flip the field. And Snyder traditionally, Joe, is coached well with the special teams. And as far as coaching, it's hard to believe it's the 11th year for Kurt Tippmann. And Joe, he averages 10 wins a year. So how about that for success from a high school football coach?
How about Chad Solman with 16 years?
He averages 8 wins a year. So 2 of the more decorated head coaches.
Well, Braden Hardwick, who had a great game against Dwingers, lines up offset to the right behind quarterback Luke Goody. Saw him in the locker room before the ball game, and here's a play-action fake. Goody with time throws, and there's a fingertip catch at midfield, and they'll have the ball into Snyder territory. Griffin Little on the receiving end, down to the 41-yard line of the Panthers.
And how about those hands? The Bowling Green recruit, 6'3", 230, just plucks that ball away. And what's so impressive about Griffin Little is he tore his ACL in the spring, Joe, and he has come back with vengeance. So how about the heart that Griffin Little has to come back from that injury, and how about those hands, Joe?
A year ago, he had 53 catches, just under 1,000 receiving yards, and 10 touchdowns. Offset to the right side of the power eye now. Spartans have got it at the 41 of Snyder early moments. Hardwick looking for running room. Tests the middle. Second effort. Down to about the 37. That'll be a gain of 3 or 4. Tough run by Braden Hardwick. Had 838 rushing yards a year ago with 8 rushing touchdowns.
Really been one of the more underrated players this year coming into the season. But he leads the conference in rushing, and he's 15th in the state in rushing yards. And look down here, Joe. Snyder's playing man-to-man on this receiver down here for Homestead. That's Disler out here, number 6 for Homestead. Snyder's playing man-to-man.
Call it a gain of 4, 2nd down and 6 now. Ball's right near the left side hash mark. Griffin Little comes in. He's tight to the right side on this 2nd down call, 2nd and 6. Here's a Goody again, read option. Doesn't want to throw the ball. He's got a catch. There's Little from his tight end spot down to the 28. They'll move the chains. 1st and 10 Homestead methodically with their offensive approach.
Yeah, and that's a mismatch because Griffin Little is so good in the middle of the field, Joe, and Goody can get rid of that football so fast. It's so difficult for the Snyder linebackers to lock in on Little, especially with the run-pass option.
Offensive line for the Spartans average 243 man tackle to tackle. Robert McCrory at center. Brady Parker and Brent Meyer are the guards. Here's a run to the left side, and that will be a gain down to about the 21-yard line, maybe the 22.
That's Archibald out there at that time, Joe, and I love how they move Archibald around the formation. He's been playing a lot of slot back, and that time Goody just throws a quick pass to Archibald and moves those chains, so that's going to set up a big 3rd down here, Joe.
It'll be a 2nd down and 5. 2nd down after a gain of 5. 2nd and 5 at the 23-yard line. By the way, efficient. Owen Heyer and Grant Parker, the tackles for the Spartans. Now from the left side hash mark. Penalty flag thrown just before the snap. And it's going to be against Homestead for that illegal procedure. Looking at Homestead coming in. Joe, they had 8 penalties against Winger for 114 yards. They're averaging 92.5 yards a game in penalties.
And think of that, to give up those kinds of penalty yards and still to be able to shut Dwenger down. So that's something they have to clean up.
And if you're a coach, where's the fine line there? Because you want your team to be aggressive and hard chargers, but again, 92 yards?
Yeah, 92 yards is too much, and right there the false start hurts them because it takes away the play they just had.
2nd and 10 now. 7:44 remains in the opening quarter. Flip-flop offense. Again, Griffin Little sets up to the right side, tight to the right. Linebackers come in here. Here's pressure on Little. Or I should say Goody, but he completes a pass in the flats, and it's a gain down inside the 25-yard line. So they took what Snyder's defense to the wide side gave them.
And that was good chase by the Snyder defense that time. I tell you what, I thought Snyder was going to shut the play down. Griffin Little makes a nice block out there, and Hardwick gets some positive yards. But I tell you what, Snyder's got some good linebackers with Rucklos out there, and the way they can run, Joe, they do a nice job stopping that play.
3rd down and 4, now from the 22-yard line. Goody steps away, play clock shows 11.
It's going to change it here, Joe. They like something on the outside.
Basically, they've got 3 wide to the left side, if you will. Here's Goody again, wants to throw, looks over the middle, and he's got a catch and a drop ball. In and out. Good defense that time, wrapping up Nick Peasley.
Yeah, Peasley's a good football player, 5'9", 190. Goody wanted to go to Little, and Peasley did a heck of a job to close down on that. So a big stop for Snyder. And now I imagine Homestead will probably go for it here, Joe. And already early on, a huge play here in this game.
Spartans do have 2 out of 4 field goals attempted. They're going to go for it, though. 4th down, they need 3.
Cam Rogers is in the game at the left slot.
Need basically 4 yards. Here's Goody, looks near side, pump fake, now throws over the middle. He's got a catch inside the 15. Knee hit. That will be good for a 1st down, though, and they'll move the chains. 1st and 10, Homestead.
And what Homestead's doing, Joe, is they're spreading Snyder out, and they like the matchup of Griffin Little against the Snyder inside linebacker. And that time, Goody really held the ball and let Little get open, and it was just a little tied-in dump. So big conversion for Homestead, and the drive continues. And what a threat Griffin Little's been early on.
Snyder's defense cover 2 right now. 2 safeties back as Goody looks on the read option, hands it off. Here's Braden Hardwick in trying to go between guard and tackle right side. Maybe penetrated down to the 12. That's where they'll mark the ball.
Tavion Rucklos again, Joe, makes the tackle, so he's been active out there. And it's a great matchup with this Homestead offensive line against this big Snyder defensive line.
Yeah, like a heavyweight matchup here tonight in Fort Wayne. The battle for the lead in the SAC. Goody, they don't even huddle up now. Still 17 on the play clock. It'll be 2nd down. Here's Goody to screen the ball. Left side's he's got Archibald. Archibald looks, falls, and dives for the end zone. Did he get in? Waiting for the indication.
Touchdown.
Finally.
And there you go, Joe. Homestead spreads them out. They attack with Griffin Little in the middle, and when Snyder sucks in to take away Little, they attack you with that quick pass to Archibald, and Archibald has been fantastic this year. And what a teammate. He makes the move to slot back and plays defense. They go full time with Goody, and it has really made that offense go for Homestead. And you see all the pieces on that drive. You see Hardwick, you see Little, and now Archibald in the touchdown. You see how Homestead can attack you with the offense, Joe.
Goody, his 11th touchdown pass of the year. Archibald good for 13 yards on the receiving end. Now the extra point gunner Fry comes on. He's 18 of 20 on conversions or the right-footed kick. It's long enough and good. 7-0 here at Dave Walters Memorial Stadium. Homestead draws first blood. They lead Snyder. Panthers about to get the ball back when we return. 7-0 Spartans. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250. The Ticket.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
With Joel Wilburn, welcome back to Dave Walters Memorial Stadium. That's Archibald's 6th receiving touchdown of the year, and Homestead took care of business, Joe. Even a gamble on 4th down succeeded.
How about that for the first drive? They run the football and they throw the football. and really soften the middle of that defense with Griffin Little. So Homestead comes out and attack, and it kind of reminds me of the Carroll Snyder game. Carroll came out and attacked Snyder so hard. So now we always say it, Joe, good teams answer. Snyder needs to get their offense going here.
Deep foreign kick return, and boy, they got some talent back there. Lenny Bennett, Alonzo Derrick, Jay Sean Underwood, just to name three of them. Here's a short kick near side. It takes a high bounce. That's a free ball and then goes out of bounds. So Homestead willing to take the penalty just to prevent a long return by the Panthers. It will be 1st and 10 Snyder at their own 35.
And that's just so much respect for Alonzo Derrick out there, Joe. Homestead's just not going to take a chance and kick the ball at Derrick. And I understand Derrick's so explosive, but it really sets up nice field position for Snyder. And I think now Snyder needs to attack. You've got great receivers on the outside with Dylan Duff and Alonzo Derrick. You got the big tight end, J.D. Wells. If I'm Snyder, I come out and I throw some first down passes here and begin to attack Homestead.
Here come the Panthers offensive unit onto the field. They'll set up 1st and 10 here from the left side hash mark at the 35-yard line. Too wide to the right. Derrick up on the slot. Alonzo Derrick in the slot right. Check that running back for you in there now for the Panthers. But here is Barnes to throw and zips it out there. Intended for Alonzo Derrick, but a little bit high and wide.
And that's where John Barnes just needs to set his feet and relax, because Alonzo Derrick was open on the out that time. And John Barnes needs to plant that back leg, Joe, and put that ball on the money. Snyder has the ability to attack the Homestead corners.
2nd down and 10. John Barnes comes in, completing 55% of his passes. Does give the Lenny Bennett. Spun around at the 35. He'll gain a yard only up to about the 36.
And that's Luke Palmer, the junior, Joe. 5'10", 190, fills and makes that tackle. We talk so much about Cam Rogers, but people forget how good Luke Palmer is and how good the other senior backer, Nick Martin, is for Homestead.
Bennett, by the way, against Dwenger, I should say, against Southside, ran 12 times for 118 yards, scored 3 touchdowns. Now it's 3rd down and 8. Here's Barnes rolling to the right, looking, buying time. Now will he run? He will. Cuts back, middle of the field, 45 to the 50-yard line. Got a block, then steps out of a tackle down inside the 45-yard line.
That's a great decision by John Barnes. They rolled him out, Joe, so he was only working with half the field, and everybody was covered. So that's a great decision to tuck that football down, come back across the field, make a big play. Now, we'll see what this penalty is. I thought it was going to be holding on Snyder, but the referees are coming together, so we'll see. But how about that decision by John Barnes to tuck that football and make a big play?
Penalty flags at the Snyder 40-yard line. Sean Jenkins, our referee tonight.
Pick it up.
They're going to pick up the flag.
Wow, that's a big break for Snyder, because I thought they were going to get maybe their right tackle for holding or an illegal man downfield. But excellent decision-making by John Barnes to tuck that football and to get upfield. And Snyder's in business now. They have a drive, Joe.
At the Spartan 45-yard line, 1st and 10. Clock shows 4:50 remaining opening quarter. 7-0 Sparty. 3 wide to the right side for Barnes on a sweep. Does handle. Well, the whistle blew right before the snap. And we'll see what this is about.
I think Coach Zolman was upset about the last play. He says somebody threw a flag. Somebody saw something, right?
Oops. Well, apparently no penalty, no foul. Just maybe the ball had not been marked ready for play. Bennett has scored 6 rushing touchdowns this year. He's the one back lined up behind, a little bit offset to the left behind John Barnes. Out of the pistol, 2-step drop. Barnes double pumps, throws to the middle. He's got a man. Catch! Dyer inside the 15, down to the 12-yard line. And here come the Snyder Panthers knocking on the door in the red zone.
Alonzo Derrick on the post, Joe. And again, John Barnes shows you the maturity and the timing to get rid of that football. When John Barnes plants his back leg and throws the football, there's nobody better.
1st and 10. They'll have it at the 13-yard line of the Spartans. Barnes again looks, hands it off. Bennett looking for running room off to the right, and he'll maybe get a yard down to the 11.
And they so badly want to establish Lenny Bennett. We talked about it, Joe. 6 touchdowns, 8 yards per carry. I love the fact that his dad was a Marine, so you know the kid's tough. But Snyder wants to establish Bennett, but I don't think it'll be long where you'll see Cameron Trotter, the bigger back, try to loosen up that Homestead defense.
Joe, we talked about that offensive line. Look at Randy Holtz, sophomore, 6'5", 350. Now again, Bennett trying to go. No, it's a quarterback keeper play. Stumbling left side. Barnes will not get away. Brought down Luke Palmer, stayed with him, played the I Spy game with the quarterback.
That's a fantastic play by Luke Palmer. You know, again, we hear so much about Rodgers. Luke Palmer, the junior, 5'10", 190. He doesn't make that tackle. Joe Barnes is in the end zone. Phenomenal read and reaction from the linebacker, Luke Palmer.
Dylan Duff, the lone wide to the right side. Alonzo Derrick, they're up in press coverage on him to the left. Here's Barnes, throws the fade, looking for Derrick, and the ball is knocked away. Good defensive play that time. Knocked away, and it saved a touchdown.
That's Morgan Lehman, the senior out there. That is textbook defensive back play. A hand on the receiver, didn't interfere with him, and you know what the key was on that? He turned around and found the football. That's a heck of a defensive play by Morgan Lehman, Joe.
Looks like they'll try to get points on the board with Trent Ryder coming in. He is 2 out of 4 this year, has a long of 27 yards. This one will be about, a 31-yard attempt from the left side hash mark. 31 yards, long enough, and on the way, and it is good. So Snyder at the 3-minute mark, points on the board. They trail Homestead, though, 7-3 with a timeout. And we'll be back here to Homestead. And this is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Get a win. Wayne's down this year. Somebody's going to get a win there. And also out in the county, how about Leo at East Noble? That's a big game. And Columbia City is 4-0, and they host DeKalb tonight. So big games around the area.
Here comes the kick now down the middle. That one will take a bounce, gets away. It's finally picked up inside the 5. Run to the right side. They'll reverse it back. That's Caleb Fritsch, I believe, with the ball, and knocked down around the 5-yard line.
And special teams, and Disler has got to catch that kickoff. If he can't catch that kickoff, Joe, he can't be on that team. That screwed that whole play up, and now Homestead's really pinned back deep. So again, big games like this, and you always say it, Joe, special teams can make a huge difference.
So the Spartans have it, but at just the nose across the 5-yard line, I guess officially they'll mark it at the 6.
Now maybe a chance to shoot your linebackers. You get a great linebacker in the sophomore, Dominic Moon. Maybe a chance for Snyder to shoot their backers, Joe, and get a big play in the backfield.
Wide out to the right for the Spartans. At the goal line is Goody to take the snap. He'll look to run the ball up the middle, and there's a little running room for Braden Hardwick. Brings it out to the 10, still pushing the pile, though we've not heard a whistle yet, and now finally apparently there was a whistle.
Yeah, Brock Widman comes up from his safety position and makes that tackle. And we saw him against Carroll with a big interception. So he's done a nice job from that safety position. And Homestead is just trying to get physical and push that ball forward so they have a very makeable second down here, Joe.
Call it a pickup of 6, so second down and 4. Clock moving close to 2 minutes time remaining.
This is where if you're Luke Goody, you want to be very careful here. You don't want to make a mistake.
Empty backfield for Goodies. Spreads the field 2 wide either side. Now checking, he does have a running back in there, offset to the right side. The protector, option run, and he'll try to cut it up, keep it himself. Goody brought down maybe at the 11 or the 12.
And that was Belazar that time, Joe. He was just licking his chops when he saw Goody. tuck that football. So I understand the option here. I don't really like that play there because you've had so much success with Griffin Little, and you got a good back in Hardwick. But already, Joe, this is going to be a big down here for the Homestead offense.
Nose of the football just across the Homestead 11. 95 seconds remaining, quarter one. A catch, and they'll have the gain at the 20, 25, 30. Run right side across the 40, up the midfield. Big play, and that's Archbold again coming up with the ball.
Archbold is so quick that Snyder can't stay with him. And did you see how good he threw that ball that time, Joe? He didn't zip it. He took a little bit off. And what was key with that, Joe, is he hit Archbold in stride. And when Archbold can get that ball in the open field, he's a big-time playmaker. So how about that for a third down conversion, my friend?
Kyler Davis now checks into the field up front for the Snyder defense. Part of that down four alignment for Kurt Tippmann's defensive Panther group. We're down under a minute, but improving field position just short of midfield. Goody now has the flip-flop on. Rogers, two tight ends with Griffin Little. They're to the wide side, to the left. And here's Hardwick. Runs that way. He's got running room again. Cuts it back at the 40, 35. He's got one man to beat at the 20 to the 15. And finally knocked out of bounds around the Snyder 10-yard line.
And that one cut and go, Joe. That is a great job that time by Hardwick. And that's what he's done all season, Joe. He plants and he gets upfield. It's that zone running. That's a great run by Hardwick. But how about Jayshon Underwood to make that tackle, Joe? Disler had the ability of the block, and Underwood fights off the block and makes the tackle to get Hardwick down. I thought he was going to score on that play, Joe, but that's how Homestead can attack you in so many ways, with the pass, with the run. Drives you nuts as a defensive coordinator.
It'll be first and goal again at the 10-yard line. Homestead already leads at 7-3. Goody looking to Hardwick again up in the middle and lowers the shoulder, fights his way down close to the 6, maybe. Well, they'll mark him down right there at the 6-yard line.
And he's only a junior, Joe. 5'9", 185. Looks about 195. I think one of the most underrated players. We had him the first game against Northrop, and he was our player of the game. So really has run hard this year for Homestead.
Looks like that will be the final play of this opening quarter. 7-3 Spartans, but knocking on the door when we return here to Dave Walters Memorial Stadium. We'll step out. Quarter break coming up. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Transparent.
And take advantage of 100 Best Developmental Camp is for ages pre-K through 8th grade. You'll work on shooting, dribbling, passing, and defense December 24th through January the 2nd on Tuesday and Thursdays. And the Always 100 Pro Camp 2020 takes you to the next level. It's the real college experience for grades 1 through 12. It's June 8th through June 11th.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, Joe, you've got to be impressed with Homestead here at home, and they haven't beaten these Panthers in a long time. They have not been intimidated one little bit.
No, it's been tempo with the offense. Homestead's just been electric with their tempo, and they've attacked Snyder with the short passing game with Griffin Little. Then they got Archibald involved on the outside, but I love how hard that Hardwick's run, Joe. So Homestead really is balanced on offense, and it feels like Snyder's been back on their heels. So now let's see if Snyder can get a goal line stop here and stop the bleeding, but Homestead's been rolling so far.
Second and goal from the 6-yard line now. Spartans work with the right side hash mark now. The left is wide open. Goody now looks to throw. Short side screens the ball. Not much room out there. They'll get a couple of yards down to about the 4.
Just dropping it off to Hardwick that time, but that's to the short side. And Snyder traditionally runs to the football, Joe. Very well coached, very disciplined, so good defense with Snyder. And a couple quick scores to pass along. Northside continues to stay hot up on the Summit City platform, 12-0 over Bishop Luers. And how about this one on the Summit City platform? Southside 12, Wayne 6. Hold on to your seat, BJ. We may get a win tonight.
It'll be 3rd down and goal from the 3-yard line. Goody checks that Snyder defense now. Looks on the read option and does want to hand it off. There's an easy run up the middle for a touchdown. Braden Hardwick to the house at the 11:50 mark. Another score for Homestead. They're up 13-3.
That's a great play call, Joe, because what they did, they spread Snyder out, and everybody's expecting them to go to Griffin Little or Jake Archibald, and they just run that dive play up the middle to Hardwick. That's a great play call, and it just has Snyder back on their heels. So I tell you, Homestead's rolling with their tempo, but hats off on whoever's calling the plays for the Spartans. That's a great play call.
Gunnar Fry on to try to make it a 14-3 lead. Sets up with the approach. Here comes the hold. The kick is again boomed on the way and good. 14-3, Spartans now by 11 against the Snyder Panthers. We'll step out. This is IHSW Football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Looking for a way to naturally aid in soothing aches, pains, and sore muscles and reduce inflammation from the skin? Want a relief in minutes? Try Alleviate. Contact Hillary Didier for details. You can find her at didier.hillary@gmail.com or call her at 260-312-1599.
Scores a pass along Concordia 7-0 over Northrop, and Carroll and Bishop Dwang are scoreless in the second quarter. So you talk about physical football over there, and we're seeing some physical football here. And all of a sudden, Joe, it feels like a little bit of danger time for Snyder because you don't want Homestead to run away and hide. And I feel like Snyder needs to get some points on this drive.
Yeah, this possession is going to be very critical for Kurt Tippmann Snyder Panthers. They're down 11 here on the road. Fry gets ready to kick it away at the 40-yard line and does kick it long. And backpedaling, there's Derek. He's got it inside the 2. Comes middle of the field, crosses over, across the 20, 25. He's up to the 30, gets to the outside, and no, he doesn't. Trying to reach beyond the 35-yard line. Good open field tackle by Homestead, and it'll be the Panthers with their ball. Joe, I want to ask you, obviously that was a big emotional win for Homestead last week at Bishop Dwenger. That can be a double-edged sword. You come off that euphoric high, and do you have the letdown in week 2 following?
Yeah, it's a great question because typically you would. I think if Homestead had Concordia or Northside tonight, but Snyder's such an opponent that where you haven't beat him in the last 9 games, that I think it was so easy for Coach Zolman to get their focus with Snyder. But I think you're right. Any other game, I think you're on to something.
Cameron Trotter now will check into the backfield for the Panthers. Comes in with 3 rushing touchdowns and 326. They'll screen the ball near side. Here's a catch, but not much more. Well, they shake that off. And here's a run after the would-be tackle.
Alonzo Derrick, Joe, one of your favorites. He is so quick out there, and Homestead did a good job of running to the football because you're not going to get Derrick down with one guy. So how about the speed of the Homestead defense and those backside linebackers to chase, Joe?
Looked like they had Derrick wrapped up for a loss. Instead, he does get about a yard and a half gain. 2 wide to the short side to the right for Barnes. Read option again. Does keep it himself. He's got some room. Midfield in a foot race inside the 30, inside the 20, and brought down on a shoestring tackle by Jake Archbold. Prevented the touchdown.
And that's what people don't realize about John Barnes. So efficient throwing the football, Joe, but people forget what a great athlete he is. And again, he makes the proper read on the option and gets a huge play. But how about the effort by Archibald to run him down? I thought he was gone, Joe. That's a tremendous effort play by Archibald to make the tackle. But John Barnes can hurt you throwing the ball, and he can hurt you with his legs.
Come in with just 17 yards rushing on the ground, one of them a touchdown. Now it's the power formation by Snyder. They've got it 1st and 10 at the 12. And they'll run Trotter off the wing to the right side. Backpedals inside the 10. Brings it down to the 7. That's great individual effort by Cameron Trotter. He was wrapped up by about 3 Spartans.
Trotter against Rogers doesn't get any better in high school football. Trotter's 5'10", 200, but he runs like he's 220. And you know what? There's no shaking and baking with Trotter. He's going to put his face mask in your chest, and he's going to run through you.
Second down. Trotter again off tackle and running for pay dirt into the end zone. Did he get in? Touchdown. Touchdown run of 7 yards at the 9:57 mark, and the Panthers bounce back with a score of their own.
And how about the coaching to get Trotter in the game? And that's Snyder football. ISO right, and they run downhill in that Homestead defense, and Trotter is just a load out of that tailback position. So good team's answer. And how about that answer? The big play from Barnes, and then the finish with Trotter. And oh man, Joe, we got ourselves a good one tonight.
Extra point Ryder comes on, looking for the 10th point of the. It's high, it's long, it's deep, and it's good. That'll make it 14-10 at the 9:57 mark. The shootout here at Homestead continues. Still Spartans by 4. We'll be back. IHS AA football on Fox Sports, 12:50 The Ticket.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where neighbors.
For every victory, for every highlight, for every team in the Summit Athletic Conference, we've got you covered. Like, follow, and subscribe for all the latest.
And how about the player, their quarterback, John Barnes? People forget what an athlete he is.
Caleb Fritz stays in, and kick return. The ball comes to him, runs up to it at the 9. Now looking on a potential, and does hand the ball off. And here's a turn across the 15 to the 20 down the sidelines. And it's Kistler with the handoff.
Yeah, Kistler 6'3", 200, Joe, only a junior, and he's a big-time talent. A lot of the D1 schools are looking at him, and typically that's risky because Snyder's so disciplined. Usually that play blows up in your face, but Kistler shows you the athletic ability to turn upfield and make a good play, Joe.
Spartans will start now this series from their own 24-yard line. So 9:44 remaining until intermission. Well, it's the second big week in a row for Homestead with that 17-15 win at Dwenger last week, and now leading Snyder 14-10 here at home. Goody with the handoff, penalty flags thrown right at the snap. Procedure against the Spartans.
Watching these two teams, Joe, it really sticks out how well coached they are. I mean, Coach Tittman averaging 10 wins a season, Joe. You know, a couple weeks ago we celebrated Coach Bush when they played Carroll, but all the great coaches at Snyder and the tremendous culture and tradition. And then here comes Coach Zolman just building the powerhouse in the southwest side of town. So great coaches in this game.
That'll back the Spartans up 5 yards. First down and 15 now. Here's Goody, wants to throw, two-step rock, now screens the ball, and it's complete at the 15, run left side. And they will be short of the first down up here across the 30-yard line. Hardwick out of the backfield. And hope you're enjoying tonight's game on SummitCitySports.com, located on Twitter at 260 Sports. Sponsors also include Alice Tech, a Mexican restaurant, and Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning.
I thought that was going to be a big play. I love the screen to Hardwick, but how about the safety? Number 2, Michael Ely, coming up and making that tackle and stopping that big play for Snyder.
Does bring up second down and 4. Goody again, looking on the read option, hands it off. Hardwick spins. Can't get away, though. Brought down at the 29. It'll bring up third down.
And penetration that time, it was the senior, Jalen Wiggins, 6'3", 255, number 93 out there, Joe. And they have tremendous nose tackles and defensive tackles at Snyder, and that time they blow that play up. So now all of a sudden a big play here for Homestead.
Third down along 4. Trying to pick up this first down and move the chains. The Spartans moving from right to left. We'll move inside of 9 minutes before this snap of the ball, and Goody trying to change the play call. Still 10 on the play clock. Running back offset to his left behind. Goody to throw. Looks time of the pocket. Now screens over the middle. He's got to catch. That's Cam Rogers up across the 40 and takes a hit. The ball is free. Scramble for it still. And let's see who's got it at the 43-yard line. Went out of bounds. And I believe Homestead may have control.
Wow, Homestead's lucky there. Rogers is open across the middle, and Goody gets him the football. And I thought Rogers was going to make a big play, but he coughs it up, and Homestead was fortunate the ball went over there to the sideline and went out of bounds. So, and they get the extra yardage, Joe. So, wow, that could have been a huge break for Snyder, but, man, Goody's so good finding the open receiver, and that time it was Rogers.
Nate Anderson checks into the game. He's wide to the left side. I believe that's Archbold up on the slot near side. There was movement defensively by Snyder.
That's Belazar who's jumping off that time, and that's just discipline. You know, that's after a big play, getting locked into that snap count, and that says a lot about Goody, Joe, because when you change that snap count, you can get those easy 5 yards sometimes, because those big guys up front get tired when they have to rush the passer. So nice heads-up play by Goody to switch up that snap count and get an easy 5 yards.
Now they're going to flip-flop Anderson to the short side, the lone wide out there to the right, 2 wide still to the left. But it will be 1st and 5. Goody out of the pistol, looks to Hardwick, off tackle, big hole, second level, runs inside the Snyder 25-yard line.
Hardwick is so tough. There is no dancing, there's no shaking and baking, Joe. It's plant that outside leg, and I'm running downhill. It's been a while since I've seen a kid run that hard, Joe. We were impressed when he ran against Northrop the first game of the season, but he has just gotten better. I mentioned he's 15th in the state in rushing, leading the area in rushing, and he just runs so hard behind those tackles, and I think it makes Homestead's pass game even more effective.
Dominic Moon now checks in at linebacker, replacing Nick Peasley.
Yeah, Moon's only a sophomore, Joe, and he's a tremendous prospect.
1st and 10 at the 24. Here's a pitch, comes left side. Hardwick looking for running room, trying to get to the outside, but wrapped up. But coming across there, Kayvon Spencer got him and turned him in.
Yeah, it's a great effort, too. And Dominic Moon, I tell you, Snyder has got some guys at the linebacker position that have the ability to run from sideline to sideline, and you see it. And I think if I'm Homestead, if I'm going to run the ball, I think I focus more on the middle of that line, because Snyder can really run on the outside, Joe.
Spartan line only gave up 1 sack last week, and Snyder's been really able to get to Goody. Rolls to his right side, buying time, throws, and the ball. Let's see if it's a catch out there in the flats.
Looks like it's going to be, we'll see. I thought it was going to be incomplete. Looked like Underwood came down on Archibald. That's a great matchup. Those are 2 all-conference players, Archibald and Underwood might be the best corner in the conference, Joe. He comes down and knocks that football away, and I thought Goody was a little bit late with that ball. When you roll to the right, that ball has to come out faster, Joe.
Now it's 3rd down 11, still with the ball at the 25-yard line. Homestead leads it 14-10, trying to add to that 4-point lead. Again, 2 wide to the right side. Slot right is Cam Rogers, a 2-way player. Now they flip-flop Hardwick, offset to the right. Will they give it to him? No, it's going to be Goody. Throws over the middle. He's got a catch, and that's Little. Griffin Little has got the ball inside the 10.
It's a great job in the pocket by Goody. I thought he was going to leave the pocket. He had the pressure in his face from Dominic Moon that time, and Goody shows you why he's a big-time prospect, Joe, to hang in that pocket that time and stick that ball to Griffin Little. And what a huge game Griffin Little's having so far.
Wide open in the middle of the field to make it 1st and goal now at the 9. At the 7-minute mark, Homestead on the march once again, trying to add to their 14-10 lead. Now they've got a wing back up on the left side. Goody out of the pistol, barking out the signals, looks to Hardwick again, hands it off, and their second effort inside the 5, down to the 1 goes Braden Hardwick, and nearly scored, but they'll mark him short of the goal line by inches.
Oh, tremendous run, Joe. That time he shows you the feet, but how about the vision to cut in that hole and continue to push forward. I don't think once this year I've seen Braden Hardwick tackled for a loss, Joe. And there you see it there. You see the strength, you see the vision, and you see the feet.
Goody under center now, tight formation. Goody's not run for a touchdown this year. Now penalty flags are thrown. There was a hard count by Luke Goody.
It's going to be offsides on Snyder. I think this is a great time for a quarterback sneak. You got a 6'6" quarterback, and maybe you just stretch out and push it over the goal line, Joe.
So again, that penalty won't hurt Snyder much. Goody takes it himself, trying to angle, and he's, well, did he get in? No indication yet.
I think he is.
Now, finally, it'll be a 1-yard touchdown run by Luke Goody, his first of the year. Time of the score, 6 minutes.
How about that answer? Homestead comes right back and goes, 72 yards on that drive? How about that drive? Again, the passing and the running, and how big was the break on the Rogers fumble for Homestead to maintain the possession?
Fry's been perfect so far tonight. Gunnar Fry trying to add the 21st point of this first half. Remember, Snyder came in with 2 shutout victories this year of their 4 wins. Won't be that easy tonight. Right-footed kick on the way. It's up and on the way, and it is good. 21-10, Spartans here at home. We'll be back. IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Developing athletes to be foundationally strong. Healthy and consistent training. Expert staff. Long-term athletic development. Parkview Sports Medicine Performance. Any athlete, any age, any skill level.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Snyder's missing Reese Thomas tonight, and I saw him before the game. He's got a leg injury. And I wanted to say, big ups to Reese Thomas out there. Heal like the Predator and get back. He's a great player, and he's down there, Joe, cheering his teammates on. So, great young man in Reese Thomas.
How about your granddad? Let's say hi to him.
Absolutely. He turned 97 on Wednesday, served his country in World War II, retired Verzollner's. The 1940, get that, 1940 Allen County Basketball Player of the Year. So happy birthday to my grandfather, and thank you for allowing me some time to do that.
That's Gaylord Conrad, hopefully listening in tonight from the Assisted Living Center. Here comes Fry with a kick. Line drive kick angling this way, and it does go out of bounds. They do throw the penalty flag, so Snyder again will have it at their own 35-yard line.
Just so much respect for Alonzo Derrick, and quickly with the Summit City platform, Joe, in the scores. Southside 20, Wayne 6. So I tell you, we haven't run since 2017, man. It's been a long time, man. We're due for a win. And that Carroll Dwenger game, Joe, is 0-0. So I bet that is physical football in the trenches. And Concordia and Northrop are close right now. So good matchups, and Northside's ahead of Lures 12-0.
Joe, let's talk a little bit about 2 weeks from tonight. We'll be at Southside for the battle for the totem pole. And, a lot of people said, well, that's community service, because that probably is not going to be a real good game. Tell you what, that now may be very well indeed a very good game.
I was really excited about it until we saw Deuce Taylor last week. And watching Deuce Taylor climb back and forth in that pocket and throw that football, I'm a little bit worried for my Archers now.
Dylan Duff checks into the ball game, part of the 2-wide package to the left, but here's a pass coming, and there's a bobbled ball and drop. That was Duff in and out of his hands. Had it at the 40-yard line. Could not secure the football. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Duff's got to make that catch. And again, how about Lehman out there for Homestead closing? So Lehman's having a great season at that cornerback position. But I tell you, a game like this, all the plays, Joe, are a little bit faster. And Dylan Duff's got to catch that football, because John Barnes that time, he's on time with that pass. So got to help your quarterback out.
Drew Sims comes in wide to the near side. He'll have Donovan Leonard defending on him. Motion to the near side. A little bit of a broken play as here's a cutback by Cameron Trotter, taking the handoff and noses across the 40. He'll pick up another yard to the 41-yard line.
He's so effective with his running and so difficult to tackle. It'd be so tempting just to leave him at tailback, Joe, and pound away behind Holtz if you're Snyder. So, again, a big third down here for Snyder, and it just feels like every possession Snyder needs to answer.
3rd down and 4. Panthers were 7 of 10 last week against South. Barnes now walks away. Play clock still at 13. One wide either side. Power I to the right side. They'll hand the ball off, and here's looking for the run. They're not going to get it, though. That'll be a gain only up to about the 42, 43-yard line.
That's Cam Rogers filling that hole, Joe, and we talked about him. He's already committed to Miami of Ohio. Probably the best linebacker in Northern Indiana, makes that tackle. And what do you do now if you're Snyder? You know, do you risk gambling here, or do you punt the ball away? If you gamble here with that offense that Homestead has, that's a big gamble, Joe.
Looks like they are going to go for it. It'll be 4th down and 3. A short 3. Trying to reach just short of the 45-yard line. Tight formation in. And here is Barnes, hands it off, and the second effort. Trotter diving for the 45. Depends on the spot, Joe.
He's short, Joe. He's going to be half a football short. And I tell you what, that was a tremendous effort by Trotter even to get that close. But that penetration on those Homestead backers, Homestead is awesome at the linebacking position. We see Rogers, and that time Nick Martin and Luke Palmer fill the hole, and I think he's short, Joe.
Sean Jenkins, they're not even going to measure, Joe, and it'll be a 4th down stop for Spartans.
How often do you see the Snyder offensive line beaten at the point of attack like that? I am so impressed with Homestead up front, Joe. I can't say enough about the sophomore Matt Miller. He has made all the difference this year for that Homestead defense. 6'2", 230, and you just can't move him in the middle, Joe, and that has been so key this year for Homestead.
Now the door is open for Luke Goody and his Spartan offense. They lead it by 11 at 21-10. Still just under 4.5 minutes remain until intermission.
Danger time for Snyder. You need a stop here.
Goody brings his team up to the line of scrimmage now. He has 2 wide to the left, the wide side of the field. Goody looks on the read option, throws the ball right side. They're playing well off of Griffin Little, and he makes some plays. He takes it down inside the 35.
Looked like maybe Kistler that time, Joe, but you're right. That coverage out there, that's too big. That's too far off. It's Underwood out there backing way off, and you're going to have to tighten that coverage up, Joe. That's just too big of a cushion because Goody is too good, and when Goody sees that, Joe, he's going to audible to that play and get rid of that football.
By the way, you're right. That is Jared Kistler out there. And it'll be 1st and 10 now, spotted at the 33-yard line. The work from the right side hash mark, and Goody sets up out of the pistol once again. 9 on the play clock. Wants to throw. Looks, throws near side and over to the outstretched arms. A little bit too strong, intended for Jake Archbold. Open inside the 15. And Goody was knocked down after the throw.
He's been getting hit tonight, Joe, but he's handled it well. He's hanging in that pocket throwing the football. But on that play, Joe, he threw the double coverage. And if you're going to miss on the double coverage, you want to miss long. So that was a big play for Snyder to kind of stop the bleeding on that. But you can just feel Homestead just wanting to attack with all their weapons.
Incompleted pass stops the clock with 3:48 remaining. It'll be 2nd down and 10. 1 wide to the right, the short side of the field. 2 wide to the left. And again, Goody off a play action, throws to a spot. Got Griffin Little with that middle pass inside the 15. He's down to the 10.
And that's got to be the adjustment at halftime for Snyder, is you're going to have to make that adjustment, Joe, and get on Griffin Little. Now that play is going to come back. That's a big penalty against Homestead. But at halftime, if I'm Coach Tippmann, I'm on the chalkboard saying, hey, we got to figure out who's got number 9, because he is just chewing us up in the middle of the field.
Penalty against the Spartans will move the ball back outside the 35.
That's a huge penalty, Joe, because that ball would have been inside the 20-yard line. So that's a huge break for Snyder. And it gets back to your point, how much did those penalty yards hurt Homestead? They got over them last week against Dwenger, but that's a big one right there.
Yeah, the penalty moves the ball back to the 38 of Snyder's. It'll be 2nd down and 15. Still 3:23 remaining until intermission. Motion, Rogers, left to right. But it's Goody wanting to throw under pressure. High ball, it's caught, but that'll be a short gain only to the 35, gain of 3.
They are so lucky. That was so dangerous. Hardwick went up and got it. I didn't know if Hardwick was going to get it. Then I thought Hardwick was going to absolutely get hammered. So that was a poor decision, but Homestead got away with it.
Remember, Hardwick is 5'9" only. And Dominic Moon came up and made sure he got no more. Now it whistles blow. Going to have a timeout called by the Panthers with 2:52 remaining. It'll be 3rd down and 13 with the ball at the 36. When we return to Homestead on top here over Snyder 21-10. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Keep your skills on point and take advantage of the Always 100 basketball camps. The Holiday Hoops Developmental Camp is for ages pre-K through 8th grade. You'll work on shooting, dribbling, passing, and defense December 24th through January the 2nd on Tuesday and Thursdays. And the Always 100 Pro Camp 2020 takes you to the next level. It's the real college experience.
Really a huge play here. If Snyder can get the stop here and maybe get to halftime close, Joe, this is a big play.
3rd and 13. Goody barking out the signals once again. Snyder shows blitz defensive, zone blitz defensive left side. Now they back away, still 13 on the play clock. Goody, will he change the play call? Back to his pistol lineup, now out of the gun. Short drop, wants to throw, screens it near side. Hardwick gets away from one. He won't get the first down, though. Gains about a net 1-yard gain. It'll be 4th down and long still.
Kyler Davis from the defensive line, Joe, hustles to make that tackle. And how about the courage of the Snyder defense that time? They roll the dice, Joe, and they blitz on 3rd down, and they get the stop there. So that's tremendous coaching for Snyder to roll the dice and call the blitz, and an effort play from your defensive lineman, Kyler Davis, to make that tackle.
Now it's 4th down and 12. Remember, Luke Goody can punt. He's punted 6 times, and that's along a 51. It'll be 4th down and 12. But he wants to throw if he can. Looks, throws on the fly. Down the right side. The ball is caught. Was it caught in bounds?
Did he catch that? If he caught that, he got it, Joe. That's Kistler out there. That is a tremendous catch by Kistler, and that shows you what he can do, Joe. He is a big-time prospect. He's had the dropsies early on in the season. That is just climbing the ladder to make that catch and to get your foot in bounds. That's a tremendous play by Kistler out there.
Joe, I didn't even bother to call it because I thought there's no way he can get a foot down in bounds, but he did at the 6.
That shows you 6'3", 200. Everybody is looking at him. Boy, let them see that tape.
Now let's see if the Braden Hardwick show takes over. Off tackle, spun around and dropped this time as they get him wrapped up, and that was, is that Reese Thomas out there?
No, that looked like that was maybe Moon that time. So I tell you what, though, Snyder desperately needs a stop here, Joe. You have to hold him to a field goal. Homestead scores here. That's a big deficit.
Saw it 2 on the number. Joe headed down on the field. Meanwhile, it'll be 2nd and goal, loss of 2. 2nd and goal at the 8. Blitz coming defensive right side, and was there encroachment? Near side official says yes. That will cost Snyder 5 yards. Panthers on penalties last week had just 4 for 35 yards against Southside. But that one moves the ball down. It'll bring up 2nd down and 4. With the ball at the 4-yard line. (21-10) Homestead. 1:14 on the clock. Spartans. And here is a handoff, and this time well defended It's again a tackle around the 6-yard line on Hardwick. Getting up off the bottom of the pile, Tavion Rucklos. So Snyder trying to stand tall. Clock moves now inside of a minute. It'll be 3rd down and goal from the 6. Panthers trying to keep it an 11-point ball game, or willing to give up the field goal only if they can. 2 wide to the left. And here is Goody. He looks to throw the fade. The quick throw. He's got a catch, and it'll be a touchdown. That's Griffin Little across the goal line. Protected the ball. It'll be a touchdown toss of 6 yards. Goody and the quick hitting strike to the left to Griffin Little. .8 seconds remaining. So Fry now trying to make it a 28-10 lead for Homestead. Now the Snyder crowd below us trying to urge on a block kick. Gunnar Fry, though. Right-footed approach on the way, end over end, and it's good again. 28-10, so the lead grows for the Spartans. Their biggest lead of the night now. 28-10 here at home, and we'll be back. IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people.
9% completion average for 851 yards. 10 touchdowns. He has not been intercepted this season so far. And tonight in Game 5 with 2 more touchdown tosses. And a lead now of 18 points. Homestead came in with the number 8 ranking in the media poll. Coaches got him at number 10. And they have been impressive so far tonight. And we'll see if Fry will be willing to prevent a return by one of the dangerous trio of kick returners for Snyder here in the late going of this first half. Joe Walburn is making his way down to chat with Chad Zolman here as the teams will head to the halftime break. Don't forget that our Indiana-Michigan Power halftime show coming up with Tom Neuenschwander. Low line drive bounding ball that's fielded up around the 28. Return up across the 30 to the 35. Maybe another yard up to the 36. That'll take the clock down to 25.3 seconds remaining. And we will see how the Panthers will play things now. Remember, Homestead won the toss, deferred. They'll get the ball to begin this second half. Comes the Snyder offense back onto the field. They'll keep Lenny Bennett in there as the running back. Dylan Duff will also move in. He'll be the one load wide to the left side, the short side of the field. Drew Sims up in the slot to the right side, and John Barnes looking, rolls to his right. Looking, throws it as far as he can downfield, looking for Alonzo Derrick, and he's got the catch at the 23-yard line. In a pack, Alonzo Derrick with 15.1 seconds remaining in the half and gives Snyder a late scoring opportunity. I believe the Panthers will burn a timeout, and they will. So a stoppage right here. 28-10 Homestead, but Panthers not done yet when we return. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, Nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Panthers not done yet. They'll have it at the just outside the 21. Contributing sponsors making tonight's broadcast possible include Kelly Automotive Group, 1,000 new vehicles and 500 pre-owned. Tom Steele Tire, 2 locations in Fort Wayne, and Big Eye Fish with the best fish in Fort Wayne. 1st and 10, but time is of essence. Barnes to throw. Now scrambles, runs to his right. 20, 15, 10. Angles inside the 5, out of bounds with 8.1 seconds remaining. It'll be 1st and goal for the Panthers, trying to get on the board if they can just before halftime. Down 18, trying to cut it again to a 11-point difference. Got out of bounds, so the clock does stop. They'll have time for at least one more play, and maybe 2. Dominic Johnson will check into the ball game now. Bennett stays in as the running back. Snyder crowd below us comes alive. Barnes looking, rolls to his left, throws to the corner, and a ball that is caught for a touchdown. That will be a 6-yard touchdown. A little crossing pattern across the way. I think that was J.D. Wells on the catch. We'll see if we can confirm that. 6 yards with 2.9 seconds remaining, and Snyder bounces back with a score. Now, the extra point. Ryder comes on. Right-footed kick is on the way, and that one I don't think got out of the pack. So it will be no good, and that will make it 28-16. It's a 12-point ball game. Kick is no good. We'll be back. Still more coming up. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where
well, we have seen 13 points put on the board in the last 32 seconds of this ball game, and we still have 2.9 seconds remaining. And Snyder to kick it away now from left to right. Just an absolutely beautiful night for high school football, and yeah, the play's not been bad at all. Great, entertaining night of high school football. Glad you could join us tonight on Fox Sports and SummitCitySports.com. Now getting ready for this kickoff from left to right. And here it comes. Line drive ball will be trickling through. It was touched, picked up at the 24. Reversal by Kistler. Kistler looking, is running out of room. Straight arms one, reverses, pivots back to the left. Now comes back to the right. He's back inside the 10-yard line. Gives ground down back to the 2. And finally goes out of bounds. And obviously the clock will save him. But tell you what, he ran about 40 yards back and forth out of bounds. But now we'll go down with
Joe, I'm down here with Coach Zolman. First half, your offense is up and down the field, and you're really in the tempo and attacking Snyder.
Yeah, pleased with them. I scored every possession. You can't ask for much more than that. 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns, and they're doing a great job.
Defensively, they get that late touchdown and kind of stay close. What's the message there to the defense at halftime? I know that's frustrating because your defense did a really good job up to that point in the first half.
Well, stay the course. I mean, we did some good things, and we got to make sure we fix a few things in coverage, and I think we'll be all right.
Absolutely. Good luck in the second half, Coach. And Joe, that was a huge touchdown for Snyder to stay close in the game, because that really swung the momentum and gave Snyder life going into halftime.
No question about it. Thank you very much, Joe. Down on the field with Chad Zolman. Tonight's game brought to you by Acme Bar and Grill, located at 1105 East State Boulevard and Kurt's Mio Power Wash. Also by Indiana Wesleyan University. You can visit them on the web at indwes.edu. 28-16, Spartans on top, but this is going to be a match and a fight all the way to the end. Coming up with the Homestead Spartan Marching Band, and our Indiana-Michigan Power halftime show comes up as well. This is IHSAA Football on Fox Sports, 1250, The Ticket.
Sports Medicine's integrated sports medicine team is built to serve the needs of all athletes in all sports. Our team's only goal is to improve athletes in every facet. PSM offers performance training to help athletes get better on the field, dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it, certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walking clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators, or visit parkviewsportsmedicine.com to learn more about what we can do to improve athletes at all levels.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where neighbors
Give your home the curb appeal it deserves, and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code Summit City for 15% off all power washing services today. That's kurtzmio.com, supporting the youth of Fort Wayne. Looking for a way to naturally aid in soothing aches, pains, and sore muscles and reduce inflammation from the skin? Want a relief in minutes? Try Alleviate. Contact Hillary Didier for details. You can find her at didier.hillary@gmail.com or call her at 260-312-1599.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express Walk-In Clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Parkview Ortho Express, located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, gives you access to quick care and orthopedic physicians when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Parkview Ortho Express is open Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Call 260-266-4007 for more information. developing athletes to be foundationally strong. Healthy and consistent training. Expert staff. Long-term athletic development. Parkview Sports Medicine Performance. Any athlete, any age, any skill level.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit SummitCitySports.com.
What you want. And once we get that accomplished, then we're finding out, majority of the time, our pricing is either the cheapest or it's right there what everybody else is doing.
Very competitive.
Yes.
Well, as we always say, get the insurance coverage you need, but get it at the very best price possible. And that is through your local and independent agent. And his name is Tom Neuenschwander at Amstutz Insurance. You can reach him at 260-622-4169 or also in Fort Wayne, 260-432-8736. Remember, Amstutz Insurance, 4 locations in Northeast Indiana. Now let's get back to more high school football right here on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Okay, BJ, let's run 3 minutes. That should give us off and running into the second half. Yeah, go ahead, because, like I say, if we can...
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
Give your home the curb appeal it deserves and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com. Request your virtual quote and use the code Summit City for 15% off all power washing services today. That's kurtzmio.com, supporting the youth of Fort Wayne.
It's the comets. Comets falling from the sky. 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 Comets falling from the sky.
We'll probably give you another 30 at least, or 60 before the start of the second half. So
Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Keep your skills on point and take advantage of the Always 100 basketball camps. The Holiday Hoops Developmental Camp is for ages pre-K through 8th grade. You'll work on shooting, dribbling, passing, and defense December 24th through January the 2nd on Tuesday and Thursdays. And the Always 100 Pro Camp 2020 takes you to the next level. It's the real college experience for grades 1 through 12. It's June 8th through June 11th.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where
Walters Memorial Stadium with Joel Walburn and the SummitCitySports.com crew. Joe Parson with you. Let's take a look at the first half scoring here in this ball game. Line score of the ball game: Homestead on top after one at 7-3. Then the Spartans outscored the Panthers 21-13 in quarter two. All started with the scoring as far as a screen pass, good for 13 yards. Luke Goody, his first touchdown pass of the night, into the flats to Jake Archbold. He would power his way though into the end zone, running past the players. Panther defenders at the 5:36 mark. Gunnar Fry would add the extra point, 7-0 Spartans. Then Snyder trying to answer, but they would be forced into a 31-yard field goal from Trenton Ryder at the 3-minute mark, but the Panthers on the board to end the first quarter at 7-3. Braden Hardwick, who ran twice for touchdowns last week against Dwenger, he would run 3 yards into the end zone. At the 11:50 mark, Gunnar Fry with the extra point. It was an 11-point lead for Homestead. Then Cameron Trotter, after Barnes would run down to the 12-yard line with a key quarterback keeper call. It would set up that 7-yard touchdown run by Cameron Trotter at the 9:57 mark. Snyder entered again with Ryder adding the extra point to cut it to a 4-point ball game at 14-10. Then Goody would sneak from a yard out at the 6-minute mark, with Fry adding the extra point, 21-10. That would be a 4th down stop, and Homestead would take over at the Snyder 44 as the Panthers gambled, and that would set up a Goody to Griffin Little touchdown catch, and that was spectacular as he caught the ball leaving his feet, caught it in his fingertips, but managed to get the foot down at the 6-yard line, and that would set up a 60-yard touchdown pass from Luke Goody to Griffin Little at the 31.8-second mark. Extra point by Fry would make it 28-10. You might have thought the first half would end. Snyder would not see it that way. They would get it down deep, and a big catch by Derek Alonzo would set him up with a scoring opportunity. I should say Alonzo Derrick with a catch down deep that would set up a 6-yard Barnes to J.D. Wells touchdown pass on a crossing pattern with 2.9 seconds remaining. Extra point was no good, but that is the way this first half would end at 28-16. Waiting for the teams to come out, and Joe Walburn making his way down to field level. He'll be checking in with Kurt Tippin, I should say, when we get a chance with that halftime interview. We'll try to bring you up to date on some of the other scores going on elsewhere as well. Checking, we see the Homestead team coming out. We'll keep things right here. We still are going to have a warm-up period going on. And I tell you what, Snyder is not yet out on the field. Let's take a... Well, here they come. Here come the Panthers right now. So, again, waiting for Joe Walburn making his way downfield. He'll be talking to Kurt Tippin in this 28-16 ball game here just before the start of the second half. We'll see what adjustments that
Kurt Tippmann plans to make, as they will have to first contain the Spartans at the start. And there's Joe.
Coach, I'm down here with Coach Tippmann. That was a huge touchdown before the half to get you guys back in the game.
Yeah, it was. Saved, from the score being ugly at halftime. We got to do a lot of things better to be successful here in the second half, not just one drive.
Obviously, they're explosive on offense, and there has to be some adjustments to slow that offense down here in the second half.
Well, they're making plays, and we're not. And we got to settle down, get our eyes where they're supposed to be, and we got to make some of those plays or it's going to be a long second half.
Well, good luck in the second half, Coach. Very calm, Coach Tippmann, Joe. You just get the feeling that he's making the adjustments at halftime, and as explosive as Homestead's been, Joe, Snyder's really got to get going. So as far as the Homestead band, Joe, 244 members strong, and what a great band indeed.
That's about 4 football teams out there for this magnificent Homestead Spartan marching band, and they are something special to see in a great part of the pageantry and valor that is associated with high school football. 28-16, Spartans on top here as we get ready to start the second half. Let's step out for a 1-minute timeout, and we'll be back with more in our coverage. This is IHSAA football right here on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
Give your home the curb appeal it deserves, and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com. Request your virtual quote and use the code Summit City for 15% off all power washing services today. That's kurtzmio.com, supporting the youth of Fort Wayne.
It's the comets. Comets falling from the sky. 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 Comets falling from the sky.
Well, he's the hardest working man in sports broadcasting. Joe Walburn is wiping off. He's sweating like a dog up here and back up. And he had a chance to talk to Kurt Tippmann most recently. Very, very businesslike, I thought,
Very calm. And I get the feeling that he knows the adjustments he needs to make. And what's scary is if I'm Snyder, you can't let Goody sit back there and pick you apart. And I think the second half, the adjustment is to get aggressive and to blitz Homestead. And I take Underwood and I match him up underneath with Little and try to slow him down. Underwood's my best defensive back. That's what I do if I'm Snyder. And that's a lot easier to sit up here and say that because Homestead could get some big plays. The only way Snyder's going to slow him down, Joe, is they have to blitz and get aggressive.
I'll tell you what, I'm still amazed thinking about that catch just before halftime that set up the last Homestead touchdown. Just amazing. It gives you an idea. Griffin Little in the middle has just been a huge factor that Snyder has not found an answer for him. And then, look to the outside. You got Kistler.
Kistler is a phenomenal athlete, and he's had the dropsies this year. And you saw the play before the half. I was worried he was going to run back in the end zone and get tackled. So Kistler is a player that Zolman continues to coach up, Joe, but you're right. You can't teach 6'3", 200, and you can't teach that kind of vertical leap to go up and get that football. So I tell you what, these first few minutes, Joe, are going to be big in the second half.
Want to give you a chance to get caught up, and we'll maybe sneak in some of those scores from elsewhere. But
interesting scores. How about Southside? Southside 32, Wayne 13. We haven't won a game, Joe, since 2017, so I'm getting excited up here. How about Northrop? They've come back 26-14 over Concordia, so Northrop's playing good ball. Carroll and Dwenger is just a slugfest. It's 3-0 Dwenger at the half. Northside's 19-0 over Bishop Lure, so Deuce Taylor continues to roll, Joe. So really some great matchups and great games around the area.
Jared Kistler's back deep. Here comes the kick down the middle. Caleb Fritsch will run up to it. He's got it at the 10. Runs to his right side. He's got blockers in front. Crosses the 20, 25. Up the right sidelines across the 30. Knocked out of bounds right around the 31, 32-yard line is where Homestead will snap the football to begin the start of this second half. They're up by 12 points here at home over Snyder.
And good field position for Homestead. And something I noticed in the first game of the season, and I'm seeing tonight for Homestead, Homestead is much improved on special teams, Joe. That's a good run back for Homestead. And now let's see what's Snyder's adjustment on defense and how are they going to slow Homestead down here in the second half.
Jake Archbold splits wide to the near side. And here is Goody out of the pistol. Looks to hand the ball off. No, it's an option run here. Goody will keep it himself and then just gives up the body. Falls down at about the 34-yard line.
And they've called that a couple of times, and I think that's just really to keep Snyder honest and not to load up against Hardwick. So, and Goody shows you, obviously, maybe the area's best basketball player, Joe, but he shows you the athlete that he is to pick up those yards.
Second down and 6 after pickup of 4 yards. Too wide to the right, the wide side of the field. Cam Rogers is in up on the wing to the left side. Griffin Little split wide to the near side. And that's Jay-Sean Underwood's got the coverage on him. He'll come up just short of press coverage. And again, read option, play action, fake throw to the near side. Nobody home.
Great coverage by Underwood. And I think Underwood may be the best defensive back in the conference, so I like the adjustment. I lock Little down with Underwood, and now here on third down, Joe, I blitz. I shoot my backers. I have speed at linebacker, and I see if I can get in the face of Goody.
Now it'll be third down and 6. 11:05 remains here in the third quarter. Big play for both teams, but especially for Snyder. Scored late before the halftime intermission. They're down 12. 2 safeties back in cover 2. Here's Goody, drops to throw, looks in the middle, throws. He's got a catch, and that is good for a first down. And who else but Griffin Little?
Yeah, and that time Little just muscles Underwood down the field. He gets a break. He separates for Underwood and makes the catch. Now he comes up limping, and let's see if he stays in the game because they can't afford to lose him. But that's number 1 on number 1 for best teams. Best on best. That's Little on Underwood. And Underwood locked him down the play before. But in the middle of the field, Joe, he's almost like a rebounder the way he can block out that defensive back and get open.
They'll match up again here on the near side. Underwood this time playing off. It'll be 1st and 10. Homestead with the ball just across their 41. Here's a quick throw to the right. That's a low ball taken off the turf. It'll be down at about the 48-yard line across the way in the flats.
And Trotter, the linebacker, chases backside, Joe, to make that tackle, but that's too big of a cushion on Kistler out there. And Kistler starting to come into his own. And that time, Goody recognizes that cushion. And all that is a hook out there, Joe. And Snyder, that backside corner for Snyder, he's got to trim that cushion down. That's way too easy for Goody and Homestead.
Let's call that a pickup of 5. Second down and 5 at the Spartan 47-yard line. Goody again, low snap, pitches the ball near side. Hardwick now got a block, got another block, turns the corner to the 50 and is knocked down short of the first down stick.
It's going to be a penalty on Homestead, Joe. It's going to be an illegal block on Rogers that time. He blocked Trotter and turned him, and I thought Trotter was going to make that tackle for Snyder, the linebacker position, but that's going to come back, and that's going to be a big penalty against Homestead and back them up.
So they were going to be about 1.5 yards short of the first down. Instead, penalty is going to move them back.
And that's a hustle play on Trotter. And I tell you, so much of defense, Joe, it's not very complicated. It's just the ability to hustle. And if you can hustle and run to the ball, sometimes you can get a break with a penalty. And again, you mentioned it in the first half. Big penalties at times against Homestead.
Averaging over 92 yards a game in penalties. Now the penalty moves them back to their own 34-yard line. It'll be second down and 15 with the ball at the 34-yard line. Here's Goody dropping the throw, screens the ball. That was into the dirt, the turf here. Incomplete. Now it'll be third down and long.
And that was to Sam Scavo that time, but Goody's got to get that ball up because Scavo had an open lane, Joe, but on that screen, you have to get that football out in front of your wide receiver, and I thought that could have been a big play. So Snyder dodges a bullet here, and how big would it be if Snyder got a stop on that first drive? They can get a stop here, Joe.
And, Joe, we've not seen Braden Hardwick touch the football yet in the second half. Again, too wide to the right. Goody with a protector to his right. That is Hardwick. They've thrown to him in the first half. And here comes the pressure. And they'll screen the ball wide open. Catch at the 35, 40, 45. 1st and 10. Hardwick into Snyder territory to the 41. Nobody near him.
And Snyder got caught that time, Joe, in a backside blitz. Snyder blitzed their backside linebacker, and it just so happened that Homestead had the screenplay to Hardwick to the left. So that's the one time where you hate to get caught in the blitz, but how about the play call for Homestead, and Hardwick gets the extra yards. That's a huge 3rd down conversion, and bookmark that play, Joe. That was a big one.
They always talk about taking what a defense gives you, and that's exactly what Homestead did that last snap. Clock is 8:46 remaining in this third quarter, 28-16, but 1st and 10, Homestead at the Panther 41. Goody again wants to throw, pump fake, now being pursued, rolls to his right, has time, comeback pattern. That one, let's see if it's going to be a catch. No, they rule it. No, they do rule it a catch.
That's Kistler again. I tell you what, he's catching all the difficult ones tonight. And how about the pocket presence of Goody? Goody had the pressure from Wiggins coming on the inside, Joe, and he shows you the feet to ability to escape, and then he resets and throws a strike to Kistler. And how about the game that Kistler is having tonight, Joe? We saw him against Northrop, and we were, gotta be honest, a little bit disappointed with the dropsies, but tonight he's been one of the best players on the field.
He's come up with some spectacular catches inside the 27. Now Hardwick runs hard down to about the 22, maybe the 21-yard line.
And that just seems to be all night long. I tell you, they attack you with the pass, and Hardwick is the perfect complement, Joe, because it's one cut and it's go, and he just runs downhill, and all of a sudden another good-looking drive for Homestead.
How often, Joe, have we said on first down it's a pickup of 4 or 5, it's a gain of 5 once again on that first down call?
And a compliment of a good back is he always gets tackled falling forward, and that's how Hardwick has been all season long.
Kistler again splits wide to the right. They're playing well off him, and I'm sure Goody's aware of that. Now they've got one wide to the left, and let's see, it's going to take too much time apparently, so there'll be a timeout called by Homestead. That'll take the clock down to 7:18 remaining in this third quarter. We've had no scoring, but Homestead's on the move. 28-16 with a timeout down below. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Keep your skills on point and take advantage of the Always 100 basketball camps. The Holiday Hoops Developmental Camp is for ages pre-K through 8th grade. You'll work on shooting, dribbling, passing, and defense. December 24th.
Win over Dwenger, where they have that same intensity, where they have the same emotional level, and they've been very businesslike, very methodical with their attack. They've come in with a game plan and they've stayed with it.
Yeah, and they've got great senior leaders in Rogers and Archibald, and just great players that are great leaders, Joe. And Coach Zolman is very in control, and I think he's really done a nice job coaching this team up. And if I'm Homestead, Joe, I run Hardwick a little bit here and see if I can't shorten the game a little bit.
Cam Rogers checks in. He's up on the wing to the left side. Archibald split wide of him, and here's a play-action fake, and there's Goody wanting to run. Throws on the middle and 2 wide, throwing down deep across the middle of the field, but could not link up with his would-be receiver.
And that was good defense out there by Weidman to take that play away. And that's one when Goody watches tomorrow, he's going to say, man, I should have just tucked it and took off. You know, there was a big hole in the middle, but Snyder's desperately trying to get a stop here, Joe. And, it'll be interesting to see what they run here. They'll probably go back to Griffin Little, see if they can work the middle of the field. I tell you what, it also wouldn't be a bad call, a draw with Hardwick, as hard as he runs, but a big play here.
Yeah, they have just owned the Snyder as far as Griffin and Little in the middle. Now Snyder making a late change defensively. Here's a quick hitting play, and there's a quick throw to the out right side, but that one is dropped. So it'll be incomplete, and they'll bring up 4th down with 7:07 to play in the quarter.
And it's going to be a penalty here, Joe, so we'll see what they call. I think it might be a legal procedure here on Homestead. And Kistler, all the great catches he makes, he's got to try to pull that one in, Joe.
I don't know if you've got a choice, but do you take the penalty or do you take the play?
I think they're going to go for it, and it'd be tempting to push them back, but we'll see. It's going to be 4th down. I think
they took the play.
Going to go for a knockout blow here.
Yeah, again, just to clarify, Snyder declined the penalty to bring up 4th down and 5. So here we go. Homestead trying to make a play. Snyder trying to defend. Good again, short drop. Looks, steps up in the pocket. Throws with a jump pass up, and he completes it. And Griffin Little will score a touchdown.
Are you kidding me? He had no idea who he was going to throw the ball to. It looked like he was out in the basketball court, Joe Parson. How about that? It's a jump shot that time at the last minute. Looked like Tim Tebow. He just muscled that ball. And how about who else? Griffin Little to run under that football, and that might be the biggest touchdown pass of the year for Luke Goody. Unbelievable.
Goody with that jump pass and just threw to a spot, and Griffin Little ran underneath it and ran all the way then into the end zone.
When it goes your way, it goes your way, doesn't it?
22 yards on the touchdown pass on 4th and 5. And maybe that will be our play of the game. Gunnar Fry on, looking for the 35th point of the night. Right-footed kick. He booms it on the way through the uprights. 35-16, Homestead. And we'll be back. IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent.
Well, Homestead finds the answer once again, and we are seeing just some magical plays by this Spartan offense.
Yeah, and you see how strong Goody is throwing the football, and sometimes you forget what an athlete he is, Joe. And on that one, he shows you the athletic ability to suck him in and just kind of make a jump pass to Griffin Little. And I tell you what, how about Griffin Little with the ACL tear this spring? Who would have thought to come back in the game against Snyder and to be this dominant, Joe? What a tremendous performance by Griffin Little, and Homestead is just rolling. And I can't remember ever seeing a game where Snyder was just broken down this much by an offense.
Lead goes to 19 now here at home. Fry will tee it up at the 40-yard line, kick it away from right to left. Snyder, the returners, hoping they have a chance. Lonzo Derrick back in the middle. Ball angles near side. Derrick has got it inside the 5. Turns across the 10, 15, 20, looking for running room. Spins out of one tackle across the 20 to the 23, maybe the 24. So again, Snyder with still 6:52 remaining in this third quarter, back to work on offense.
And now Snyder's going to have to really pick up the pace and attack, Joe. And in years past, I wouldn't have think Snyder would have the personnel to catch up. But they have great receivers. We talked about the tight end, J.D. Wells, and Dylan Duff, the basketball player on the outside that so far has been very quiet. Lehman out there for Homestead has really shut him down, but Snyder's got to step on the gas and get going here.
Lonzo Derrick checks in. He's up in the slot to the left side. Empty backfield now, 2 wide either side. Barnes looks near side, throws, completes. Spin play, Lenny Bennett for the first down across the 30 and up to the 36. maybe the 37-yard line, Snyder will move the chains.
Yeah, 5'10", 175, the senior. And when you wear the number 1 jersey for Snyder, it's special because you put the work in the offseason. Special kid, Lenny Bennett.
Drew Sims in. He's also wide to the near side now. They'll stay with that same spread offense. Now a motion. Alonzo Derrick right to left. And here's a sweep coming up. Derrick looking to get a block and turns the corner down the left sidelines. And depending where he stepped out of bounds, somewhere around the 44-yard line perhaps. Are they going to give him more yardage?
Yeah, and that's the corner out there, Joe. Again, that's Morgan Lehman. Joe, the senior, 5'11", 165, turns the play in and keeps the contain, and that kept it from being a big play.
Nonetheless, a gain of 7 by Alonzo Derrick. Second down and short from the left side hash mark now. 3 wide to the right of John Barnes. Barnes looks on the read option, wants to throw. He's got Dylan Duff with a catch, and he's hit hard at the 44, but holds on. And again, Snyder with a first down, and now that offense for the Panthers begins to find a little bit of continuity and rhythm.
Yeah, Duff is a phenomenal talent on the outside, and I tell you, the presence of mind to hold on to that football when Jake Archibald comes up and just lays the wood on him. But Duff is a very interesting prospect on the outside.
Joe, both these teams can score. The question is, can they stop anybody? And again, here's a quarterback keeper play by John Barnes as he weaves his way inside the Homestead 40 down to the 37 and maybe another half a yard.
How good has John Barnes been tonight, Joe? I think kind of underappreciated in my mind. John Barnes really has stepped up and made that next step as a high school quarterback this year. And I think he's a prospect that could play big-time football.
I'm just trying to remember, did we ever talk about Joe Auburn? Boy, what a run by Joe Auburn. Here's a great run by Joe Auburn.
I couldn't do that. I used to make business decisions out there. I would go down, you know.
Gain of 6, second down and 4. Screen pass left side. There's a catch. Lenny Bennett for the first down. Breaks it off the hash mark inside the 25. Well, did he step out of bounds? I think he will have the first down, but
it's going to be a penalty out there, Joe. I think it's going to be on Snyder that time. Bennett got the corner, and it looked like possibly the wide receiver out there had an illegal block. And as far as to finish up on your point, you know, when I played, you were a pure pocket passer. And nowadays, these kids, and you know with St. Francis,
different game.
These kids have to be so skilled at quarterback. You know, we saw Jeffrey Becker for Carroll. We saw Deuce Taylor last week. I mean, these kids have to be so skilled to not only throw the ball, Joe, but to make those split-second decisions and run the ball. And I never could have done that.
Penalty moves it back to the Spartan 44. It will be second down and 10. Barnes now may have changed the play call.
Got to hurry for Snyder.
Play clock is down to 7. And here is a handoff now. And Bennett dives inside the 40 down to about the 38-yard line.
And that's what's tough because Homestead's going to play a little loose, and they're going to let Snyder have that. They're going to surrender the yards to keep the clock moving. But if you're Snyder, you got to get that ball snapped faster because you need to maximize this time because this is a fast quarter.
Didn't think that Bennett got a great spot of that football. They're going to mark it back just inside the 39.
I get the ball to my tight end. We haven't heard much from J.D. Wells tonight, and he's a threat, and maybe Snyder can work the middle of the field.
Third down and a long 4. Empty backfield once again, 2 wide either side. Barnes to throw, looks right side, and that one incomplete. And now penalty flag thrown, intended for Drew Sims.
That's Donovan Leonard out there, and Joey had good position. He didn't need to jump on his back, and I tell you, sometimes those defensive backs just panic. Leonard's 6 feet 160. He had him covered, Joe, but he got on his back, and that's a good call, and that's a huge conversion for Snyder. And it's so hard sometimes when you're on an island as a defensive back, you have to trust your skill set and trust your fundamentals to make that play.
So it'll be first down at the 4:08 mark, 1st and 10. Ball's at the 24-yard line as those 2 mammoth guards come in. Well, front offensive lineman, DJ Moore, 6'4", 300. And Randy Holtz, 6'5", 350. Both are sophomores. And here is a run again. Bennett spins off a tackle down inside the 20. Still fighting and then gets pushed back. Let's see where they're going to mark him forward progress.
And nobody plays phone booth football like Snyder. You know, I was coaching my JFL kids, 4th and 5th graders this week, Joe, and we had a drill where we played. I said, we're going to go phone booth football. And they said, phone booth? What's that? Think about that, huh?
Yeah. Bryce Reaver led the charge that time. It will be a gain of 6, though. 2nd down and 4. Clock approaching 3.5 minutes. Time remaining here in the third quarter. Tight formation except one wide. Bennett again. Looks left side. Got into the second level. Stopped short of the 10. Knocked down right around the 12 or the 13. But he's got enough for the first down.
He's a good-looking back, too. And right now, Jake Archibald's making every single tackle, Joe. And it's just the safeties coming up and making the tackles. Now, if I'm Donovan Leonard down here on the near side, I back up a little bit on Alonzo Derrick because that slant right there, Joe, is all night long, and that's the best ball Barnes throws.
In one wide to the right is Snyder Power Football, and here's the throw right side. The catch is made. Alonzo Derrick spins. Did he get in?
Yep, touchdown. And that's the slant, Joe. And if I'm Leonard, you have to understand situational football. On that play, Joe, it's 35-16. I could tell Barnes and Snyder were going to come back to that play. And if I'm Leonard, I back up. You have to understand situational football, and you don't want to get beat to the inside because that time you had no safety help. But how about John Barnes? That ball's right on the money.
Right-footed kick by Reiters on the way. Looks good, is good, and Snyder fights back to cut the lead down to 35-23 at the 3:01 mark. And we'll be back. This one far from over here at Homestead. IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250, The Ticket.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where
Will Snyder fans below us celebrating a Panther touchdown. The question is, can they stop the Spartans? So far, the answer has been basically no. Kick coming down near side. Grabbed inside the 10. That's Caleb Fritsch again. Looks, get a block. Cuts to his right. Stacked up, driven back, and dropped inside. They'll give him a forward progress gain out to about the 17, maybe the 18-yard line.
First one to 40 or first one to 50? What do you think? And I tell you what, I've never seen a season in high school football in this area, Joe, where we've seen so many skilled quarterbacks. And we saw Deuce Taylor last week climb the pocket, and he was awesome. Jeffrey Becker, we were so impressed with him, only a sophomore. And how about the game that John Barnes is playing tonight? We knew how good Luke Goody is, and we felt like John Barnes would take that next step this year. He's been awesome tonight, but you're right, Joe. Can Snyder get a stop here?
I don't know what the over-under was in this ball game, but I thought it might be a defensive game. I am so wrong as Goody looks to hand it off, and Hardwick steps out of a tackle up the field for a first down across the 25 and all the way to the 27. The little guy is just tough to bring down.
He is an all-state running back, and he gets hit that time in the backfield, and he steps out of the tackle, Joe, and goes right upfield. You are seeing phenomenal game tape being laid down right now by Braden Hardwick. That is textbook running back, and that's against fantastic defenders for Snyder.
And Joe, he's not come out. I don't think he's taken a play off all night.
No, he hasn't.
First and 10, 2:22 remaining here in the third quarter. Goody, option run to the right side, will continue on in the second level. Across the 35, will get another yard to the 36 with that angled run to his right.
And that's much better option with Goody because he was decisive, Joe. And a lot of times on the option, when the defensive end doesn't come to the quarterback, you have to tuck it and get upfield and be decisive. That was a decisive run by Goody, so here we go. Homestead continues to attack Snyder, and Snyder is desperate for a stop.
Clock continues to move. We're inside of 2 minutes late in this third quarter. Snyder has drawn closer, 35-23, but the Spartans continue to march. Second down and short. And whistles blew right at the snap. You would generally know Snyder off sides.
Yeah, and that's just the trying to crowd the line of scrimmage, trying to make a play. But you got to keep your eyes on the ball. If you're Snyder, you don't want to give those penalty yards. And now Homestead feels real good, Joe. It's first down. You got the ball in your 41. You can open up your playbook, but as hard as Hardwick has run, it'd be tempting just to pound away with him.
I think the Panthers just lined up offside.
Yeah,
it was not encroachment necessarily, but
fatigue.
So an automatic first down, 1st and 10. Goody now has motion to the near side and dropped the football, now picks it up. And here's a run again. Hard run, midfield and into Snyder territory inside the 45-yard line.
That's another fantastic run, Joe. And I think that was Hardwick again. Looked like a broken play. They ran back across the formation. Didn't fool Snyder. I'm sorry, Kistler. I got to get that name right because he's making all the catches. But Kistler comes back across the formation, doesn't fool Snyder, and Hardwick just cuts right back behind those linebackers.
Mom and Dad are coming up here looking for you, buddy.
Got to get that right, huh, my
Now
friend?
we're down to 46 seconds remaining. Here's Goody, option run to the right. Late pitch comes to Hardwick. Braden Hardwick turns the corner, out of bounds inside the 35, about to the Snyder 33, maybe the 32.
And again, the recognition, Joe, to plant the outside leg. And that time, you see the speed from Hardwick to get the corner. So, hey, if I'm Homestead, I'm content to run the ball here and shorten the game. Get an all-state running back there.
And look, Joe, a lot of Snyder players hands on hips.
It's hot. I mean, you guys got a big one tomorrow. I mean, it's hot out there. There's a lot of fatigue with that heat.
Another first down with 38.5 seconds remaining. Snyder shows blitz defensive right side. And again, run. They give the ball to Braden Hardwick, and he'll carry it down to the 30-yard line.
And that's what it's going to take for Snyder. They're going to have to blitz those outside linebackers, Joe. And it's scary because you hate to have the one-on-one coverage on the outside, but you're going to have to bring those linebackers if you're Snyder.
We're not going to see another play run. We're down the final seconds of this third quarter. We'll go to quarter 4. And Homestead on the move again at the 31 of Snyder. They lead it 35-23 over the Panthers. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent.
Well, it's been a warm night here on the west side of Fort Wayne, and tell you what, it's been pretty hot with the action we've seen on this field as Homestead trying to take care of business against the Snyder team they've not beaten in 13 years, Joe.
Yeah, 2006 in the sectional championship, and this is my kind of game. Lots of offense, my friend.
Second down and 6 coming up. Spartans now moving from left to right. Goody looking the read option, does hand it off. Hardwick tests the left side, gets a couple of yards inside the Panther 30 to the 29. Clock becomes a factor now, obviously just starting this fourth quarter, but Homestead, the clock is their ally, leading it by the 12-point margin.
Yeah, it's tempting to shorten this game and run Hardwick, but here you need a big play on third down, Joe. So let's see what Snyder does. Does Snyder dare to blitz this time, or they sit back in coverage? And let's see what kind of look Goody gets here. Taking some time to get this play in. This is a big one.
One wide to the right.
That's Kistler here, has made some great plays tonight. Shotgun formation. Here's Goody Loads, pulls it down. Now throws again a fingertip catch at the 25, and they'll have the first down, I believe. Yes, to the 23-yard line of Snyder.
And who else? Griffin Little. How about that from your tight end? I didn't know who Goody was throwing to that time, and you see those big paws just shoot up and grab that football, Joe. So another tremendous play by Griffin Little, and Snyder just does not have an answer on the coverage with him in the middle of the field.
Dominic Moon again checks back in. It will be 1st and 10 for Homestead now with just under 11 minutes remaining, and a big score, big for the Homestead Spartans, puts them up again. Right now they have a 2-score lead. Griffin, hard count, looks to throw off a play action, looking right side to end the catch, and touchdown.
Kistler.
Let's see.
That's Jared Kistler, Joe. Got to get that one right.
Who is that?
Kistler. What a breakout game, though. I tell you what. And Goody, how about the gamble for Homestead, the play action? I thought Hardwick would get the football, and they run the fade, and Goody just drops it in the back of the end zone to Kistler. And Snyder just doesn't have an answer for the Homestead offense. I've never seen Snyder's defense pushed like this up and down the field, Joe.
You know, I waited on the call because the official here in the right corner, in fact, they're talking to him a little bit. He never made a call. Kistler was close to the goal line, but everybody celebrated for Homestead, and here comes the kick now by Fry on the way, and good again.
Wow.
So 42 on the board against Snyder here by the Homestead Spartans. They lead at 42-23, a lead of 19 once again. And we will be back. This is IHSAA Football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where neighbors...
For every victory, for every highlight, for every team in the Summit Athletic Conference, we've got you covered. Like, follow, and subscribe for all the latest.
My Archers are up 32-13, so I tell you, we haven't had a win since 2017, so I'm feeling it. And how about Northrop? Northrop's all over Concordia tonight, and Dwanger and Carroll are tied at 3 in the fourth quarter. So great games on the Summit City Sports platform, but how about this Homestead offense? I mean, this has been woodshed against the Snyder defense. Snyder's had no answer tonight for Homestead.
We've got 65 combined points on the board by these two teams. Here comes the kick down the middle, long and deep. And here comes Alonzo Derrick with the ball, looking for a block. Cuts at the 20, 25 up the middle. Steps out of one tackle at the 37 to the 38.
That's why it's so scary to kick the ball to him, Joe. You know, he can make so many plays. Homestead's lucky to get him down. And now, Snyder, you want to get in your 2-minute offense, and you got a good quarterback in John Barnes to attack. And if you're Homestead, you just want to keep the plays in front of you and do a good job tackling.
The lead is 19 for Homestead. You know, you mentioned Kurt Tippmann at halftime, really businesslike, very calm, and you don't see a lot of hysterical jumping around. And
no, just coaching and teaching. But I think he felt like his defense would adjust and make some plays, but it just never happened.
Shotgun formation now for Barnes. Option run to the left side, and he will run to the 45, and he's got a first down and much more inside the 35, and then steps out of bounds.
He has quietly had a fantastic game, John Barnes has. And that time, if you look back behind the play, Holtz that time, number 71, just absolutely puts the hammer on the linebacker out there. Looked like Luke Palmer. And that was a pancake block. But I tell you, Barnes quietly had a good game, Joe.
Joe, you watch John Barnes. He doesn't strike you as that effective a runner until you see him picking up all the yardage.
He is a very underrated athlete, and he is an up-and-coming quarterback.
1st and 10 now at the 35. They'll run the ball again. And Off-tackle run to the left side. That's Lenny Bennett trying to find some running room. Does not find much. Maybe picks up a couple, 2-3 yards.
I'm okay with that if I'm Homestead. Homestead's defensive coordinator is Cam Rogers' dad, Ben Rogers, who played for you guys over at St. Francis. And, boy, was he a baller, Joe.
No question about it. Young son is taking some good instruction from Pappy. Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7, and now we're under 10 minutes time remaining. Empty backfield now for Barnes. Looks right, loads, fires. He's got a man, and the catch is in and out of the hands, dropped. That was 6.
And that's Dylan Duff, and he hasn't dropped any this year. How about that ball? That was an NFL throw. You talk about putting that ball on the money, and that ball never got much air, Joe. That shows you the arm strength of Barnes, and I think Duff was just surprised how fast that ball got to him. But you got to make that catch, especially when you're down 3 touchdowns.
You know, a lot of times you'll see that pump and go. That was just strictly go.
Arm strength.
Now 2nd down. Now Homestead shows blitz, and Barnes might be checking off. Still 8 on the play clock. Got 2 wide to the right. Barnes looks again, play action fake, rolls right, buying time, looking, loads, throws it high and deep into the end zone. The catch this time is, let's see if it's made. No, incomplete.
I thought he was interfered with that time, Joe. The ball was, Barnes kind of hung the ball up there with hopes that Duff, being 6'5", he would go get it. I thought there was a lot of contact back there, and I think Homestead's fortunate not to get a penalty, but you see where Barnes just kind of wants to hang it up out there and hope that Duff can go get it.
Now it's going to be 3rd down, or check it, 4th down and 7, and obviously Snyder down 19, got to go for it with the ball at the 32-yard line. Got to get it down to at least about the 25 on this snap. Play clock at 5, at 4. Barnes looking, wants to throw again, checks off, throws in the middle, got a catch, tough catch in the middle, and holding on. It'll be 1st down inside the 15-yard line. Panthers still alive at the 11.
J.D. Wells, the tight end, 6'3", 210, and kind of a kid that gets forgotten in these offense. He shows you the hands there. How about the velocity that Barnes can throw that football with?
Dominic Johnson in tight to the right side. They'll run the ball off tackle, and there's Lenny Bennett and inside the 5 and down inside the 3.
Great cut that time by Lenny Bennett. We mentioned his daddy's Eric Bennett, the Marine, and Lenny runs so hard. He's got so much heart out there, Joe. And how about the Snyder? No quitting Snyder trying to narrow this score.
It'll be 2nd down and 1 at the 3. They can pick up a 1st down without scoring. Here's Barnes again to Bennett. Bennett, 2nd effort, down near the goal line, did not get in, around the 1.
And those Homestead linebackers play so hard. You know, we talk about Rogers going to Miami of Ohio. I'd be all over Nick Barton, 6 foot 185, Joe. If he could put about 20 pounds on, he'd be fantastic as a weak side linebacker on the next level. And the junior in the middle, Luke Palmer, number 31. So area's best linebacking core for Homestead.
Now the power full house backfield for the Panthers. They've got it 1st and goal at the 1. Cameron Trotter's the running back, trying to get into the end zone and touchdown. So the Panthers from a yard out at the 8-17 mark, trying to fight back on that 1-yard touchdown run by Cameron Trotter. That's his 4th rushing touchdown of the year.
And how about the Snyder offense? And that's just ISO football with the big back, and Snyder just marches that ball down the field. So we're going to see which team can get a stop here in the 2nd half. But obviously Homestead has the advantage, and I'd run the ball here and try to shrink that clock if I'm Homestead, because their defense has got to be gassed too, Joe.
Let's see if the Panthers are going to go for 2.
I think you have to. I mean, if you go for 2, it makes it into an 11-point game. So technically you're a field goal and maybe a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie.
Right now the lead is, what, 11?
13 right now.
13.
Get this 2-point conversion and makes it 11.
Little motion left to right behind the line of scrimmage. Here's Barnes, rolls right, being pursued, throws back, and that one is not caught.
Wow, he had him wide open, and it looked like the linebacker on the backside, looked like Palmer got his hand up and knocked that away, Joe. So he had him. He ran the motion to the right and throw it back across the field, but Good stop by Homestead.
There was a penalty. It was going to go against the Panthers anyway, so that's declined, and so the try for two fails, and it will be 42-29 now with still 8:17 remaining. We'll step out. IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Developing athletes to be foundationally strong. Healthy and consistent training. Expert staff. Long-term athletic development. Parkview Sports Medicine Performance. Any athlete, any age, any skill level.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Here come the Panthers, and they will kick it deep. So it'll be fielded at the 5 and fumbled into the end zone. So that will go as a touchback. And Homestead will have the football, and Snyder's still wondering, will this be the time where the Panthers defense forces a turnover or a stoppage at least?
Yeah, got to get a stop and get off the field. And as far as getting off the field, Dwanger, a late touchdown with a minute and a half left in the game to go up 10-3 on Carroll. So that's just been physical football, a slugfest out north, and God, great matchups. And I tell you, you mentioned about the 6A, the power in the 6A right now in this area, and we definitely got some good teams.
Homestead with 2 timeouts remaining. Snyder's got all 3 of theirs. We've got 8:15 remaining here in regulation. Panthers making a defensive shift on things. It'll be 1st and 10, Homestead at their own 20-yard line. Goody out of the gun, looks to hand the ball, and then wants to throw still, and he's got a catch again in the middle of the field. And who else? Griffin Little across the 45 and up to the 47, 48-yard line.
Nothing wrong with that knee. How about that catch and that move? And how about Homestead continuing to attack? I thought for sure they'd run the ball with Hardwick, but they see those matchups, and I think that's been the real difference tonight. Snyder just doesn't have anybody to match up with Little, Joe.
And the Spartans, they are clicking tonight with that air game. We don't keep the offensive stats, but they're going to be just spectacular for Luke Goody again here tonight, and in particular with Kistler and Griffin Little on the receiving end. Now Goody looks over his shoulder to the right, does hand the ball to Hardwick, and this time he runs into a wall, trying to spin but nowhere to go.
And what's so impressive with those passes to Little are a lot of those are on play action, Joe, so Goody fakes the handoff to Hardwick, and those linebackers have to take a step forward and honor that. And Little does an excellent job of just finding that seam behind those linebackers. And Homestead just has punished Snyder with that play-action passing attack.
Isaiah Maxwell, the defensive end, wraps up on that play, stops at virtually no game. Let's call it 2nd down and 10 at the 7-minute mark. Time, the ally of Homestead. Shotgun formation again, 2 wide to the left. Now the outside comes in and press coverage. Now Griffin is tight to the right side. Here is Goody, looks, throws to the left, downfield, and in and out of the hands. Trying to find, I believe that was Cam Rogers.
Yeah, Rogers got to catch that football. That ball was dropped right in his breadbasket. And, man, I can't believe Homestead continues to throw the football here. I don't want to second guess when your offense has been that good. I'd pound away and run the ball a little bit, but as good as Rogers is, he's got to make that catch on that play. That was a fantastic thrown ball, Joe, and that was a deep wheel route to the wide side. That's an NFL-type throw.
Now, though, it's 3rd down and 10. Spartans trying to reach just inside the Snyder 43 on this snap. And I say that because Spartans have gone successfully on 4th down a couple of times here tonight. They lead at 42-29. There's a bobbled ball, but Goody steps up, throws on the run, and again a sliding catch at the 41-yard line. That was Rogers bouncing back with a great catch on the football.
And that shows you why he's got the full ride to Miami of Ohio. The best linebacker in the area. How about those hands? And again, Goody climbing the pocket, Joe, and giving him a catchable ball.
Now at Miami, Ohio, will he play offense or will he play defense?
I'm assuming he'll be a linebacker and play defense like his daddy, but he's having some fun out here catching the ball. But again, how about Goody in the pocket, the ability to climb the pocket and throw that ball?
Spartans at the Panther 38. The new set of downs to work with. Clock will move inside of 6 minutes. After this play is executed, and they'll run the ball. Again, there's Braden Hardwick running hard and to the 35, maybe another yard inside the 35 of Snyder.
I think the running of Braden Hardwick this year for Homestead, Joe, and the play of their sophomore nose tackle, Matt Miller, I think those two players have given Homestead so much they never had in years past.
Got one of the Panthers, that's Peasley, a little bit slow getting up. He's going to come off the field limping a little bit under his own power. He and Dominic Moon have been sharing a lot of playing time here tonight. Usually one of those hard-nosed linebackers that Snyder is very famous for.
Great linebacking. Snyder seems to always have great defensive tackles, great linebackers, and great running backs.
Well, play held up for a moment now, well, because of the injury, but now the Spartans hurry up the line of scrimmage. 5:24, and the clock moving now. Second down and 7. Read option again, and Hardwick breaks free. Second level inside the 25, 20. He's got a chance inside the 10 and all the way down close to the 5-yard line. Braden Hardwick yet again.
Another fantastic run. And Joe, he's so patient to stay in the hole, let it develop, and then when it develops, he picks him up and puts him down so fast. Another tremendous run, and the patience of Hardwick at the running back position.
They'll say the knee hit back at the 8. It'll be first and goal with 4:55 remaining to be played. And Homestead knocking on the door yet again with 42 points already tonight against this vaunted Snyder defense. From the left side hash mark. Again, here is the run, and Braden Hardwick will not go down. Fighting, and will he get in? Touchdown.
Wow. How about that run? Just refuses to be denied. Comes in, averaging 8 yards per carry, leading the area in rushing, 15th in the state. And how about laying down that tape tonight, Mr. Parsons? That's the way you run the football. And I'll tell you what, think about if you're Homestead's punter. You didn't punt once tonight. You know, you could have just got a sack of popcorn and stayed there and had your popcorn and enjoy it. A touchdown on every single possession, and probably the best offensive game I've seen in high school football, Joe.
And would you have guessed 48 points on the Snyder defense?
No way.
I thought, Joe, maybe 14-7 game either way. No, we were wrong. I was wrong. Here's a long extra point, Gunnar Fry, and I tell you, he's just booming them to downtown. It's good. 49-29. Spartans in a rout. We'll be back. IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Keep your skills on point and take advantage of the Always 100 basketball camps. The Holiday Hoops Developmental Camp is for ages pre-K through 8th grade. You'll work on shooting, dribbling, passing, and defense December 24th through January the 2nd on Tuesday and Thursdays. And the Always 100 Pro Camp 2020 takes you to the next level. It's the real college experience for grades 1 through 12. It's June 8th through June 11th.
Great game over there, and you mentioned about who does Homestead have left. They've got Carroll left, and Carroll and Homestead have always been big rivals.
Well, we know that Snyder and Carroll are.
Oh, they sure are now.
Fry ready to kick it away at the 40. And comes over, trickling ball down at the 10. And it'll be a return right sideline across the 20-25 out to about the 26-yard lines where the Panthers will go to work on offense now. But they have just 4:31 remaining in this ball game. And how do you score 20 points? That's the deficit right now. Now a little bit of pushing and shoving across the way.
2-minute offense, and John Barnes done a fabulous job throwing the football tonight. So now everything has to be quick. Got to get that ball snapped, and you have to attack. And if you're Homestead, you just want to make the tackle and keep Snyder in front of you.
Sounds so easy when you explain it that way.
I know it does. It's very easy to sit up here when we call the games. You know, thinking about those halftime adjustments for Snyder, I thought maybe you blitz a little bit, but it just feels like Homestead took out 13 years of frustration on that Snyder defense tonight.
And there come those two big linemen. They will line up together. That's 650 pounds of muscle out there, those two linemen for the Snyder Panthers, and they're just sophomores. But right now they need some big yardage plays from John Barnes and company. And they will run the ball, and there's some running room. Bobbing and weaving, and a first down run across the 40 up to about the 45-yard line by Lenny Bennett.
Yeah, he's tough. About 8 yards a carry, a senior, and just runs hard every single play.
First and 10, Panthers at their own 45, moving from right to left. Lonzo Derrick up on the slot to the left side. Dylan Duff here split wide of him to the outside. Barnes out of the gun, looks again to hand it off, and keeps it himself. Cuts to the outside, a nice ankle tackle. That time by Luke Palmer. Brings him down for no gain, maybe a half a yard at most.
A junior, a really baller. Palmer's really instinctive at the linebacker position, Joe. Does a nice job scraping. Homestead plays a 3-3-5, and they get away with it because they're so good with the linebacking.
Call it a gain of 1, second down and 9. We're at 3:31 remaining to be played. Here's Barnes, looks, now throws, and behind J.D. Wells.
I tell you, when they've tested Morgan Lane inside, Joe, he's done a nice job stopping that, and you know, Homestead continues to get some pressure up front. We talked a lot about how good they are at nose tackle, Joe, but also those defensive end. Bryce Raber, 5'10", 210, the senior, and Mark Dealey, 6'3", 210, the senior. So they make a nice combination off the edge, and this is a really good defense for Homestead.
Third down and long. Barnes with 3 wide to the right side. Read option. They run the ball. And there is Bennett for the first down and just sprints by one of the Spartan defenders, still on his feet inside the 20 and down to the 17 he goes.
Woo, how about that cut? And that's Ryan Burton out there. And I'm sorry, Ryan, to mention it, but how about Lenny Bennett with the shake and making that play? And Burton's just got to get him on the ground.
We do have an injured Spartan down on the turf across the way at the 20, just inside the 20-yard line. So we're going to have an injury timeout right here while they tend to him. And we want to remind everybody that we have a stoppage of play. This injury timeout is brought to you by Parkview Sports Medicine, a winning combination with the IHSAA. So timeout down below, 49-29, Snyder on the short end, but trying to fight back. And tell you what, we'll keep it right here. Is that Cam Rogers?
That's Rogers, and you can't lose him if you're Homestead. And, you know, we mentioned how well Bennett's running, and Ryan Burton. Keep in mind, Ryan Burton is 6 feet 205, only a junior, Joe, and he's another big-time D1 talent for Homestead. So Bennett shakes him on that play, but Burton's having an exceptional season, an all-conference player at safety for Homestead.
Hope you're enjoying tonight's game on SummitCitySports.com, located on Twitter at 260 Sports. Sponsors include tonight also Ellis Tech, a Mexican restaurant, and Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning. Barnes throws complete at the 15, throwing right side. That was Duff with the ball.
Donovan Leonard that time much better on the slant. He closes down that time, Joe, and makes the tackle. And if you're Homestead, you're willing to give that play up.
2:44 though remains. Gain of 3, second down and 7 from the left side. Here is Lenny Bennett. No, it's keeper play by Barnes, and then he slides down right at the 15-yard line. That might have been
almost intentional, trying to avoid taking the big hit here in the late going. Don't forget our Walburn Financial Management postgame show coming up. Joe, in fact, making his way already down to the turf, and we assume he'll be talking to Chad Zolman and some of the Homestead players. Meanwhile, it's third down and long. Barnes wants to throw, looks right, dances, checks off, throws back to the left, and this one is caught for a touchdown. I think it was Drew Sims. Sims, good for the 15-yard touchdown catch. So the Panthers not done. And Barnes on the money with that deep post pattern throw. So offense has not been the problem tonight for Snyder by and large. They've got 35 points on the board right now, trying to get their 36th. But they've given up 49. And there have been plenty of points here tonight, right or on. A high snap, but the kick is long and good. And that'll make it 49-36. So again, the lead is 13 for Homestead, but the clock their ally with just 2:03 remaining, and we'll be back. This is IHSAA Football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
Give your home the curb appeal it deserves, and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com. Request your virtual quote and use the code Summit City for 15% off all power washing services today. That's kurtzmio.com, supporting the youth of Fort Wayne.
It's the Comets. Comets falling from the sky. Comets.
Got to get the football back, so let's see if they do go onside. Now we'll have 10 men up within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. I want to remind everybody, tonight's game brought to you by Acme Bar and Grill, located at 1105 East State Boulevard, Kurt's Meal Power Wash, and by Indiana Wesleyan University. Visit them on the web at indws.edu. Ryder waiting for the go-ahead. And does onside at far side. Bounding ball that's down by Homestead at their 45. So the Spartans now with just 2:01 remaining and trying to go to move to 5-0 on the season. And with back-to-back huge wins in 2 weeks. First at Dwenger and about to take out Snyder. Leading it right now 49-36. So let's see how the Spartans play it. They've got great field position, but clock is their ally. Goody sets up in the pistol, looks to hand the ball off. Straight ahead run. Snyder again clogs the middle. That'll be a short gain up to about the 4, just across the 46, short of the 47. Clock with 1:49 remaining. Does Snyder take a timeout? Clock continues to move. And right now, Snyder apparently ready to concede this game is effectively over, down 2 scores. Couldn't come up with the onside kick. And we're down now inside of 90 seconds. Panthers have got 11 men up within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. Goody taking the play clock down to 2, down to 1. Does hand it off again. Hardwick will not find anything. Spun around and dropped. Once again, I believe that was Isaiah Maxwell that spun him around. And now the clock does stop, and I believe Snyder has taken a timeout with 1:08 remaining. Both teams with 2 timeouts left. So with our score 49-36, stoppage down below, and we will be back with more. This is IHSAA Football right here on Fox Sports 1250.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
'85 combined points here tonight at Homestead at Dave Walters Memorial Stadium between these two teams. 49 of them by the boys in blue and gold. Homestead now with that loss comes up third down and 7. We'll see if Goody does put the ball in the air, does want to throw over the middle, and this time it's knocked down over the middle. Incomplete pass stops the clock. Snyder does not need to use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. And it'll bring up fourth down. Still 7. And we may well see the first punt of the night by the Spartans. Now, we've not seen them punt the ball at all here this evening. A couple of fourth down bids. They went for it and converted. But they will punt the ball now. Goody waits for it. He does the punting now, most recently at the 32. Rushes on, kick is away. High hanging ball. And that one bounces and gets by Snyder. A bounce inside the 5 and all the way down about the 2-yard line. So Snyder, let's see if it is down. I believe it is at the 2. So the Panthers will have it with 49.6 seconds remaining, but deep in their own territory. Was there a penalty flag? There was, back around the 42. And let's see what that's going to be about. Referee here tonight, Sean Jenkins. Joe Walburn was telling me, by the way, that this crew worked the Penn St. Xavier game. St. Xavier out of Cincinnati. And Penn was just a run over in that ball game. Again, a lot of the teams from Indiana, when they go against the teams from the high school teams from the Buckeye State, not so much in recent years. Dwinger's had some great success. But you look at Woodland going against Marion Local the last couple of years. Penalties against Snyder. Let's see how that's going to affect possession of the ball, if any, with 49.6 seconds remaining. Again, Sean Jenkins talking to his crew, and we still have 49.6 seconds remaining in this ball game. Meanwhile, the official waiting down at the 2-yard line. And I believe Homestead's going to continue to have possession of the football. And it'll be a 1st and 10, automatic first down for Homestead. Snyder does have 2 timeouts remaining, but they may not elect to use them in this situation. It will, let's see, they'll put the ball down at the Panther 39-yard line. Goody basically just has to take a knee. And I think they are going to take the victory formation now. And a couple of kneel downs, and this one will go in the books as a 49-36 victory for Homestead. Clock will run. Snyder not indicating they want to take a timeout. And they just need one more snap of the football. Play clock at 30. He does need to take one more snap, and that will be it. But what a performance tonight by Luke Goody with his air attack and the passing game to Jared Kistler, and especially, how about Griffin Little Knight in the middle of the field? He just absolutely had his way against the Snyder defense, and that is going to do it. Homestead, finally, with a win over the Snyder Panthers. Not won in 13 years. But they win here tonight at home by final score 49-36. And as soon as we get a chance, Joe Walburn down, and he'll get with Chad Zollman.
Coach, congratulations. They don't get any bigger than last weekend tonight. And offensively, you guys were awesome, and Snyder just didn't have an answer to stop you guys.
Yeah, I can't say enough about that offense. That offense was tremendous. I think that punt in the fourth quarter was the first time we punted the ball all night. So they moved it down. Every time they touched it, they scored. That was unbelievable. That's what it takes to beat them.
Defensively, last week, it's the physical matchup you guys win against Dwenger. Tonight you win the high-scoring matchup, but defensively for a second, talk to me about your front three, because I think that's been huge this year, and I think Matt Miller, the sophomore, his play at nose tackle, we knew how good you were at linebacker in the secondary, but that front three has really showed up this year, Coach.
Yeah, they did a tremendous job. They sacrificed themselves because game plan is never going to be about them. It's about their linebackers. So, and they do that last week, this week. I'm sure you'll see on film that they did an awesome job of just keeping people off the linebacker depth and let our linebackers run a little bit.
Talk to me about Griffin Little. He's got to mean so much to your program. Tears the ACL, and just the heart of Griffin Little to battle back, and that just seems to be the heart that your team has, and he makes play after play tonight. But talk about Griffin Little and the ability to overcome the ACL tear.
It was a long road. He rehabbed every single day, I think, from when it happened until still doing it. Unbelievable. And he's just a phenomenal athlete, and he'll be making some plays on Saturday soon.
Congratulations, Coach. You've done so much good work out here, and congratulations on those 2 big victories.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Good luck the rest of the season.
Joe Walburn with head coach Chad Zollman celebrating this win for the Spartans here at home, 49-36. That was Joe Walburn with our Parkview Sports Medicine interview from down below. We'll see if Joe can get with maybe some of the other players when we continue with our Walburn Financial Management postgame show. Right now we'll take a timeout. 49-36 the final. Spartans with the win. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket. Okay, let's see what you've got left.
Looking for a way to naturally aid in soothing aches, pains, and sore muscles and reduce inflammation from the skin? Want a relief in minutes? Try Alleviate. Contact Hillary Didier for details. You can find her at didier.hillary@gmail.com or call her at 260-312-1599.
If I got a half hour.
Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Keep your skills on point and take advantage of the Always 100 basketball camps. The Holiday Hoops Developmental Camp is for ages pre-K through 8th grade. You'll work on shooting, dribbling, passing, and defense December 24th through January the 2nd on Tuesday and Thursdays. And the Always 100 Pro Camp 2020 takes you to the next level. It's the real college experience for grades 1 through 12. It's June 8th through June 11th.
49-36 the final here at Dave Walters Memorial Stadium. Chad Zollman and with his Homestead Spartan team, they're gathered around the goal line in the north end zone and talking to one another. Coach talking to his players, celebrating this victory and talking about the work ahead. because the win over Dwenger last week and here tonight at home over Snyder, those are huge victories. But again, we're just 5 games into this high school football season and still a lot of work to do. So I'm sure they're talking about focus and taking it a game at a time. And Coach is always talking about that next play mentality, that next game view, because good or bad, you've got another week, another play, another game to be thinking about. Joe Walburn down and getting ready to have a chance to chat with hopefully some of the Homestead players here tonight. Let's tell you about the line score of the ball game. Spartans scored quickly and early to take a 7-3 lead at the end of the first quarter. Then they outscored the Panthers 21-13 in the second quarter. Led at 28-16 at halftime. Both teams put a touchdown on the board in quarter 3. And then we had a total of 34 points scored in that fourth quarter. 21 by the Spartans again. Snyder did not go away. They finished up with 13 points, but they fall here tonight on the road by 13 points. Trying to delay just for a moment with Joe as he tries to get an interview lined up. Kind of hard to see down there in the mass of Spartan football players. Bring things up. I'm not sure exactly where Joe Walburn is, but if we get a chance, we'll turn things over to him as soon as he's ready. Boy, lots of groups of players and media down on that field. We'll keep things up here. Maybe he'll be able to hear us and just go. In the meantime, we'll recap some of the scoring here. As we mentioned, the Spartans got off to an early start, scoring early and often. And it was a 13-yard screen pass from Luke Goody, and wasn't he effective here tonight? Spotted Jake Archbold, and good for 13 yards and a score at the 5:36 mark. Gunnar Fry was a busy man tonight with the extra point to make it 7-0. Snyder would be held to a field goal attempt, and Ryder would respond with a 31-yard field goal at the 3-minute mark, and that's the way the first quarter would end, 7-3. Homestead, though, on top. They would push that advantage up with another touchdown, a 3-yard touchdown run by Braden Hardwick, who ran hard tonight at the 11:50 mark. Got in the end zone to make it 14-3, Fry converting. But Trotter would score after a nice run by John Barnes. Good for 12 yards. Gave him the ball down deep, and Cameron Trotter would take it into the end zone at the 9:57 mark to make it 14-10. It would be Goody again on a 1-yard sneak at the 6-minute mark to make it 21-10. And then it would be a 4th down stop by at the Snyder 44 that would give a chance offensively for the Spartans. And Goody would find Griffin Little, good for 6 yards and a touchdown, with still 31.8 seconds remaining until halftime. 28-10 our score. But Snyder was not done. They would get on the board with 2.9 seconds remaining on a Barnes to J.D. Wells touchdown, good for 6 yards. The extra point try was no good. That would make it 28-16 at halftime. Second half, more scoring. 22 yards, Goody to Griffin Little. After a 4th and 5 conversion at the 6:59 mark. Fried with the extra point to make it 35-16. The lead was 19. Barnes would find then Alonzo Derrick on a touchdown pass, 13 yards at the 3:01 mark.
Joe, I'm down here with Griffin Little. Griffin, congratulations on the big game. It just seemed like whenever you guys needed a play, you got open in the middle of the field.
Yes, sir. I just had to do what I just had to do what I got to do for my team. That's all that matters at the end of the day. My team is what matters.
I want to congratulate you. You tear the ACL in the spring. It had to be so emotional, but the guts to come back and to fight through the rehab and to be out here for your senior season. I can't say enough about your character to battle back from that injury.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a mental battle, and I had to be out here with my brothers. I had to, whatever it took. Getting cleared in 5.5 months was something I never dreamed of in the beginning, and then I realized it was a possibility, and I just put in work every single day to get where I needed to be.
Well, that's impressive the way you fought back for your brothers. And lastly, what's it mean to wear that blue and to play for Coach Zolman and to play out here in front of all these fans and to be a Homestead Spartan?
Man, it's the best feeling in the world. I love wearing this blue jersey. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Coach Z's the best coach I've ever had, and I'm so excited right now. I'm lost for words.
Congratulations, you're a warrior. You have all the respect in the world from Summit City Sports and Fox Ticket to battle back from that knee injury. Good luck the rest of the season. There you go, Joe. Big game for Griffin Little and really impressive to be cleared from an ACL in 5 months.
Yeah, that's a warrior to be able to come back from what a lot of times is such a devastating, career-ending injury, but not for Griffin Little. And by the way, he would figure so much into the scoring here tonight. Let's pick up the scoring in the fourth quarter. We'll continue on. It would be a goodie to Kistler on a great 23-yard catch. We had to wait at the 10:39 mark of the fourth quarter because he had to go high and managed to drag a foot in bounds. The touchdown counted. 42-39 lead again at 19 after Fry converted the extra point. Trotter would score again on a 1-yard touchdown run off the power lineup by the Panthers at the 8:17 mark. They tried for 2 points. It was no good. Still 42-29. But Fry again would have an extra point opportunity after an 8-yard touchdown run by Braden Hardwick at the 4:38 mark, 49-29. And the Panthers would have the last score of the night, 15 yards, Barnes to Drew Sims. Little crossing pattern in the middle of the end zone, right with the final point of the night, 49-36, the way it ends. So Homestead stays perfect now at 5-0. And for the Spartans, 5-0, they'll move up in the rankings, one would presume. And they will travel to Chambers Field next Friday night against Northside. We'll be there for that matchup as well. Snyder, now 4-1 on the year. And they will be home next Friday night. They'll take on the Wayne Generals at Spuller Stadium. 49-36 the final. Let's take a timeout here. Our final timeout. We'll be back to wrap things up, and we'll talk about the games at hand when we come back to Dave Walters Memorial Stadium. IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250, The Ticket.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where
Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express Walk-In Clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
Give your home the curb appeal it deserves and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code Summit City for 15% off all power washing services today. That's TrustKurtzMio.com, supporting the youth of Fort Wayne.
It's the comets. Comets falling from the sky. 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 Comets falling from the sky.
With Joe Auburn, I'm Joe Parson. We get ready to wrap things up tonight. Joe considered that Snyder had beaten Homestead 9 straight times. The last Spartan win came in the 2006 campaign. They beat him 21-16 in the sectional championship. But get this, Homestead had not won here on this field and before the artificial surface. Last win was 1998 with a 35-21. That's a long time without a win. That all changed here tonight. 85 combined points between these two teams.
Yeah, very impressive. You liked offense, you loved this game, and Homestead gets the job done, and we wondered how they would be after the win with Dwenger. And what's interesting is they beat Dwenger being physical. Tonight, they just ran away from Snyder. So I feel like Homestead can win in a lot of different ways, but how big of a win is that for the senior class to get the monkey off their back? So big win there. Big win for Bishop Dwenger. 10-3, they hang on over Carroll, so that's a big win. How about my Archers? It's 2017 since we had a win, 46-27 over Wayne. I won't bother you and sing the school song, but we get a big win. Nice to have a win. It's been a couple of years.
Archers winless no more.
Archers winless no more. And then how about Northrop? They hang on against Concordia. Concordia comes back, Joe. Northrop 40-33 over Concordia, so that was a shootout. And Northside has to hang on against Lures 19-14. So good conference action. And that's a big loss for Carroll because now Carroll has 2 losses and Homestead is really in the driver's seat now. But I'm so impressed with the Homestead offense. I'm so impressed the way Griffin Little came back from the ACL, Joe, only 5 months. And how about the running of Hardwick and the defense that Homestead has? And Homestead just seems to have, this might be Coach Zolman's best team, Joe.
Well, you look ahead, Snyder now will regroup. Panthers 4-1. They'll be home against Wayne next Friday night. Our Friday Night Lights feature will take us to Chambers Field as Homestead on a roll, but they'll take on the Northside Legends at Chambers Field, and Northside's one of those dangerous teams right now with Deuce Taylor at quarterback.
Yeah, they didn't have Deuce Taylor the first 3 games, so Deuce Taylor gets eligible, and all of a sudden Northside's 2-0, and you saw the emotion of Northside last week. They even had a turnover chain, Joe, so you could see that Northside is really excited. So that is the game Homestead's going to have to watch, because after this big win, can Homestead get up for a game Northside team?
2 big wins now in a row for Homestead. They stay undefeated, 5-0, and that's going to wrap things up here tonight. 49-36, the final. Spartans with the win over Snyder. Special thanks to our studio producer. His name was B.J. Steele. Until next Friday night, we'll have Tommy Norris back with us, Joe Auburn as well. My name's Joe Parson. So long, everybody. Thanks so very much for listening.